CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
COVID-19 has cast a spotlight on the stark inequalities that drive poverty. The poorest communities in the U.S. and around the world are suffering the most. Oxfam believes we can put systems in place to protect health and livelihoods in the future if we work together with dignity and compassion. Learn how you can help offer safety to the most vulnerable and fight for a more resilient future at oxfamamerica.org. Sponsored by Oxfam America.
Hey, JMV, thinning hair. This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, HD3, Indianapolis.
Third down for the Colts. The Colts are 2 for 3 so far on the money down. This is big. 3rd and 3 at the 3. 3rd and goal. Rivers out of the gun has the troops at the right hash. Taylor the back right. They give it to Taylor right up the middle. Moving left. Touchdown! Jonathan Taylor with his 18th rushing touchdown of the season. He goes out of the gun. Etienne is back on the hip left. Back in the throw is Lawrence. Colts bring pressure. Lawrence out of the pocket. Upfield at the 5, veering left, and he's going to scamper in for a touchdown. And Jacksonville's on the board. It's 10-6 with 5:38 to go in the second quarter. Lawrence, direct snap. He's going to take off and run and scamper into the end zone for a touchdown. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns today, and Jacksonville has the lead for the first time. It's 13-10 over the Colts. Rivers throws in zone and lobs it upfield, and it is a catch. A one-handed grab by Mo Alley Cox. Are you kidding me? The first touchdown of the season for Mo Alley Cox, and he made it with one hand. He brings it in for the touchdown. Colts back on top, 16-14. The rookie quarterback waiting on the shotgun snap. Prevent defense by Jacksonville. They're going to rush 5. Back in the throw is Leonard. Steps away from trouble, throws downfield. It's got enough air on it into the end zone, and it is intercepted by Jacksonville at the I in Indianapolis in the end zone. Pass was intended for Alec Pierce. Antonio Johnson, the safety out of Texas A&M, ends the game. 23-17 is the final score on the Ruoff Mortgage scoreboard. And the Colts losing skid now has reached 6 games.
Obviously, there's circumstances that are uncontrollable, some things, but there are controllable things that you can control. And you got to fight and find ways to win tight games. And that's what this league is at the end of the day. And we haven't done a good enough job of that, and that starts with me. So we got to find ways to win tight games.
I mean, if this was the last one, shoot, I told you guys I wasn't going to have any regrets about coming back, and I don't. Other than us not winning, right? Us not winning. It's been an absolute blast for 3 weeks. If I go back and say, all right, now you know everything's going to happen, what are you going to do? I do it all again. It's been absolutely awesome. And so, yeah, I mean, if it's the last one, it's the last one. I thought the last one was walking off the field of Buffalo, walking up that tunnel, and I was fine with that. And that one had tears and those few days after it, you know, and I was at peace with that being the last one. So certainly if it is, I got 3 bonus games that I never saw coming. I couldn't be more thankful that I got the opportunity.
The Ride with JMV, 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Now let me double back there. Phillip Rivers, Shane Steichen, he's got to be better, and it's on him and all this stuff. And my God, we hear the same thing over and over. Now, Phillip Rivers was a little bit different, but it's not like it helped. I guess from going back to the Seattle game, it brought notoriety and interest more than Riley Leonard would. But other than that, there was no winning going on. You've now lost 6 straight, likely to lose 7 straight to go to the offseason, and I have no idea how you reset all this. And I've said this before, and you know what? The dumb of you out there, some of you get this mixed up. You guys, for years, know where I stand on this. And speaking of that, going back to last January, on this particular topic, I felt the same way. And then everybody said, nah, it's too early. I had to stand down in the first 2 months of the season because I kind of looked like a horse's ass then. Hey, they're winning and they're 7-1, they're 8-2. What were you talking about trying to get rid of everybody? Now, fast forward to where we are, it would have been better off because you would have been on the path after a reset. And you would know a little bit more. But I would also fair a guess for everybody that gets on those that cover the team around here. Some of you guys, it's tired. Not a majority of you, but some of you guys, it's tired. You know that they aren't me. I can sit here and say whatever I want. It doesn't matter that I'm a part of the Colts radio network and the pregame show. I'll say whatever. I've always said whatever I wanted. Nobody ever cares. Why? Because I'm fair and I'm balanced. In this case, I'm fair and balanced as well. That's all you want. I'm not going to come out here and start calling everybody names unless you're a jackass, and then I'll call you a name. You know how that works. But what everybody is saying about this, and again, I don't know what those that cover the team on a day-by-day basis believe should occur coming up going into the offseason. I know what I believe should occur because it's the same thing that I felt should have occurred last January and to a degree going back other Januaries before it. And I think it's even more solidified now, of which I'll explain in just a second. But the opinion that some have around here and they're writing about, well, you know, it is not as cut and dry. It's not their opinion. It's the truth. It's not cut and dry. What I believe or what you believe should occur is not exactly, more than likely, what Carly Ursay Gordon is thinking about. Matter of fact, we don't know what she's thinking about. And it is reasonable to believe that, hey, you know what? Maybe they just decided to go with this back at the NFL trade deadline. That's been my philosophy. If they continue with this, that's not what I believe should occur. But what people are saying is you wouldn't be surprised. And you've seen it happen before. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's carrying the water for anybody because of that. I'm not here to defend these guys. I don't have to swoop in on a chandelier like I'm Zorro to save everybody from the big bad horses' asses out there. But I will tell you what is real. And then save you the pounding of the fist and the shaking of the fist and getting mad about every single thing. Most people that I come across that have an opinion about the Colts feel the same way as I do. And I think it's even more reinforced now because you have exhausted absolutely everything. And you've even seen the good. You saw a 2-month run of the good that came to fruition that, as an end result, again, failed miserably. And that is the tale of the tape. That's how this organization and this team is defined right now. That's who they are. And let's face it, there's not any Band-Aids or any patches that will do a damn bit of good until you change everything up. And whether you're talking about the general manager, which is a certainty, or the head coach, which falls into line, that is perfectly reasonable and understandable. I don't know what else you do. I will say this, if you're out there and defending Shane Steichen, the one thing you defend is they're going to be sitting in a very similar quarterback situation coming up next year as they were this past year. And the one thing that Shane Steichen has going for him right now, I would go, if I were him, I would drop all that. I have to be better and this falls on me and all that because people are so worn out of that routine. I would drop it. But the one thing he does have going for him is when you saw the renaissance of this offense and of Daniel Jones, and you take out of the equation that they were playing the underbelly of some NFL teams in the first 2 months of the season, other than a couple of occasions. When you look at that, he was the chief reason as to why we saw that with Daniel Jones. I mean, hell, for 6 seasons in New York, you didn't see it. Now, the one thing that worries me more than anything else regarding Daniel Jones is the things you saw in the first 6 years in New York is what you saw again in year number 1 in Indy. And that is the injury situation. And that makes you wonder, as much as you've dealt with injuries around here and quarterback failures around here, how much stock do you put into that? But you also keep in mind, how much of an option do they have? I mean, hell, right now, and that's just where you are, that seems like the best option that's available. You know, a guy that's got to hastily recover from an injury and hopefully be ready for the start of the season next year or at some point early in the season, which I think underscores again just how much there is not to believe about this team. And that really is where it starts here. And if you want the biggest reason as to why you have to make a reset and adjustment, it's because of that thinking. And it may not be the same old to the owner, to those in charge, right now compared to the late Jim Irsay, but it is to everybody else. You have seen really it all. And over the course of these 9 years, and in particular these last 3, nothing they've tried has worked. And yeah, I mean, you can excuse it away to injuries. There's no doubt that of Daniel Jones compromised the season, but that doesn't make up for the existing shortfall. It just doesn't. I said this last year, and I'll say it again this year. We've seen enough. We've seen enough. And it is also reasonable to suggest, if you have that opinion, that's okay. But that, again, may not be the opinion. And what we try to do is explain to you what exactly is going down, and that's exactly what is going down. I just don't know how you push forward with this any longer. And really, when we suggest, well, they've lost 6 in a row and you could close out the season winning or losing 7 in a row, that shouldn't have bearing on it. I mean, that is just a part of the product that this team, this organization is right now. Now, you can look at the fact that they're 2-9 against the Texans and against the Jaguars, both of which looking as if they are hit a stride now for different reasons. New head coach and Liam Cohen in Jacksonville. You saw the Jaguars, a 23-17 winner over the Colts yesterday. Colts now losers of 6 straight. They haven't won on American soil since Halloween. Now, the last time they won was in Berlin over the Falcons in overtime. That's who this team is. Injured quarterback or not. And they'll close out on the road in Houston coming up at 1 o'clock on Sunday. But you look at Jacksonville and you look at Houston, and they have direction. And you kind of see who they are. If you watch Houston on Saturday, I know a lot of you did because you had your fingers crossed that the Chargers would do something, but that is a Houston team that understood the situation and flexed and got the job done and eliminated somebody around them within their own division. Yeah, that is really what the Colts used to do in this division. And now the Colts are the ones that get it done to them. Man, that so has to change. And like I said, with this regime of the past, whether it's 9 years or 3 years, this has all been the same thing, but for different reasons, under different circumstances. It all goes into the same losing pot. Seriously, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to give credit where credit is due, but if you want to, you can. I mean, they have changed up. Chris Ballard's changed up philosophy. Or at least it appears that way, in how you address free agency and how you attack the trade deadline. Yeah, I know. I was all for the trade deadline, but you have to be for results. And ultimately, that's what matters the most, the results. Like, we're all breaking down these circumstances as to how to prove our portion of the debate or our argument. But the ultimate proof is who you are as a team, and they're a losing franchise. That's who they are. They're a losing organization. That's who they are. That's what you have to shake loose. And I just don't know how else you're going to be able to do that without making the ultimate change. And, in fact, one change that should have been made years ago. And, if you're going to do one, you do the other. Is this going to work too? Or do you believe in Shane Steichen moving forward? I think Shane Steichen can coach up some offense. I don't know, what else is going to be a part of that equation. That's what you have to change. And the results are the things that ultimately matter the most. And there's nothing personal. Yes, we were all thrilled in September and October, and why not? But this is ending the way that it normally ends. And also under this regime, the other thing that they can't do is not completely suck in December. This team can't close a window in December. And again, we've been privy to every single situation. And all of this is just like you're going through Costco or Sam's Club, and you're picking samples off the plates that are out there available. I mean, this is just all a big sampler platter of losing. Those are the things you have to exercise. Not trying to hope that you can finally squeeze something. Well, this is finally going to work now. Because if it hasn't worked by now, come on. No other franchise, no other organization in the NFL would let this go on this long. Nobody else. Somebody had asked me yesterday, outside of ownership that is also involved in the general managing position, who else is able to withstand that? So that's where you are right now. And I know it's probably going to be tough. And the old philosophy of the NFL is, you can transition quickly and get back to winning quickly. And the Colts have been an exception to that rule, at least from what they have done so far. Got a lot of questions to answer, but I did want to clarify with you, when you hear the reported side of the story that it's not going to be as cut and dry as I will explain it to you right here, that's because that's true. It's not. Just because I say, you're a losing organization and results ultimately matter, just as easily, you can end up saying within the organization, well, we believe in what you're doing and you were compromised by injury. I hear it every day. And the fact remains that nobody knows. I thought we always were able to a degree, kind of read the so-called tea leaves of Jim Irsay. There's nobody that has a read here on Carly Irsay-Gordon. Nobody. And everything is just a guess. And those reported reasons is something that I've talked about for a while. Hell, seriously, you go back to the NFL trade deadline, they very well, in okaying that, giving the thumbs up to that Sauce Gardner deal. Man, hopefully that doesn't go down in history as one of the worst of all time. It sure as hell doesn't look good right now, let me tell you. And, hey, listen, I look like a horse's ass, too. I was on board. I was pumping my fist over that, too. Yeah, go do it. Make it happen right now. You got to win right now. Everything right down the toilet. So I'm going to lose my general managerial credentials, too. But again, it doesn't matter. The results matter, and it's on their clock. But you could easily say, going all the way back to the trade deadline, that that's when they decided to move forward with this. Because you could say, win or lose, we're going to go for it right here. And I think that was part of the dialogue back then, at least for people that would have been on board with it. Some people probably changed their mind now and kind of run from it, and I'm not going to be one of those. Yeah, I want to win right now. I'm not all about entertaining losses, and I'm not all about heartwarming stories. I like Phillip Rivers, but I sure as hell don't want to watch that anymore. Yeah, I'm over it. It was a great story. He got emotional. He got to come back and do that again. It was like Kramer and Seinfeld, going to Yankees old-timers camp. And that's great if that is what you're really going to embrace right now. But, God, I'm so sick of watching this and sick of being in this similar situation and talking because this is not at all my personality. I mean, I want to have some fun, and this is not fun. This is not fun, and we have gotten used to this lack of fun for a number of years. So how do you change that? You still going to go and hope for the best, or do you just go ahead and openly change the philosophy and the decision-making altogether? You know where I stand. But again, you could go all the way back to the NFL trade deadline when they made that deal, and you could say, well, they're going for it right now, win or lose, not thinking at all that they were going to lose 7 straight games. 6 as of right now, could be 7 on Sunday, and bow out of the postseason once again in similar Colts fashion recently with still time left on the clock. They were done with 2 games remaining. And I'm not suggesting you have to be about everybody else, but when everybody else is doing something that you're not, maybe you should be a little bit about everybody else because this ain't working. And it hasn't. And if it can't work this year, especially with the way that it started, is anybody going to hold their breath for it working anytime soon, especially given the circumstances of compromise they're going to go through now? Yeah, I'm okay. If it head coach stays, general manager goes, split it up, yeah, I'm okay with it. But you can't reboot. And if you want to go ahead and wipe the slate, I think that is a philosophy that most people should be able to get down with. Yeah, I know we've got how many weeks worth of that? Another week's worth of that coming up on the inbound too. Yeah, it's all the stories. All the stories that are negative that everybody thinks is the lifeblood of sports talk radio. Yeah, you haven't lived around here very often. I mean, if you're a horse's ass, people aren't going to listen to you. Especially if you're unreasonable. And most people listen to you when things are going well. All right? It's a front-running mentality, but I'm on board with it. And I will say this, I'm all for any front-running right now because I am sick and tired of having to talk about this similar situation after every single year. Like the same dialogue over and over and over again. That is where you are. So Phillip Rivers is going to be done. Riley Leonard expected to start, I guess, coming up on Sunday to close out the season. And then we'll find out exactly the path that they are taking. But again, highlight this part of it. Highlight the 2-9 versus the Jags and the Texans. I mean, we're talking about, just climbing a hill back to the postseason or getting back to the playoffs in the AFC. But now, you got to get up over. And the sad part about it is both of these teams have been up, down, up, down, up. It's like a yo-yo of good and bad with these teams. Meanwhile, the Colts have been bad for the past 5 years. No postseason appearances since then. Way too many options, way too many other things to do. And I mentioned this yesterday, and people didn't understand it. Fans, I'm going to give you credit. I thought you guys were outstanding. Now, granted, yesterday you could tell that everybody, much like we all did, got excited in the first 2 months of the season and then bought tickets for this game thinking, wow, you know what? You're going to dictate some tempo going into the postseason, and that did not happen. But I'm going to give credit to the fans because the fans showed out, whether you were at Bullseye with me yesterday or in Touchdown Town with me yesterday, and loud watching a quarterback that was clearly past it, but I guess people were digging the good story. That's fine. But a team that went out in similar fashion as this team has gone out. And by the way, too, this is not just meant for organizational pieces or coaching staff. This is meant for players, too. No more rinse and repeat. I think we're past that, well past that by now. Certainly in some areas, well past that by now. But a shout out to the crowd. And again, I know you probably purchased those tickets for Christmas thinking that was going to be a big deal. And, you know, we just kind of end up in similar fashion as what it has been for the Colts in a recent memory, which is an incredible bummer. And that's the return on investment. You guys are spending a lot of money on tickets, a lot of disposable income on tickets and gear and time spent. And the Colts have really given you no return on that investment. They owe you. They owe you. But a shout out to you guys yesterday. That was impressive for a team that was going nowhere. And then, meantime, losing again while going nowhere. Stephen Holder's going to join us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. I just wanted to explain why you're going to get the other side of that. And while my philosophy is steadfast in my belief, helping you understand how, if you're in my corner on this, we could all be wrong. Easily all be wrong. All right, 239-1070 on the text line at 317-239-1070. Thank you all for joining us. Just a couple of more days left before we vault into the year of 2026. James is back. I'm John. Again, you can watch via YouTube Live, the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. The text line is 317-239-1070. All of your thoughts on that. Pacers in Houston coming up later on tonight. The Boilermakers' final get-together with Kent State now before they fire back up in Big Ten play in preparation for the Thursday Pasadena encounter in the Rose Bowl of IU and Alabama. And, yeah, leave it to the weather folks out there to screw up all the Hoosier fans that are going to the Rose Bowl for the first time since 1967, and you're going to rain. Whatever happened to It Never Rains in Southern California? Great song. Where's that philosophy? Evidently, that's in the forecast. And there is no, James, there is no blanked up place on earth quite like Southern California in the rain. It is messed up.
I can't say I've ever been, so.
I love me some Southern California, I do. But I sure as hell am not going out there wanting it to rain. We'll talk about that. Stephen Holder, again, joins us coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. 239-1070 is that number. Lines are open. Your thoughts, we can debate if you like. All about the Colts moving forward here. And the final week of the regular season, Colts in Houston trying to avoid a 7-game losing skid going into the offseason, which makes things even worse, if you can imagine. Stream the app, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Hey, Johnny for the District Tap. 2 locations, Northside, Clearwater Crossing, downtown Indianapolis. I'm going to tell you this, Mike Only Gang have that place going. End the year, start the new year right. I'm going to tell you, what a great place to go to watch all the action, no matter what game you want to watch. And a great date location because you can side-eye any game while also, like, if you're trying to make the eye contact with her, your wife, significant other, date, whatever, you shake your head and go, and you're also watching the game seriously because strategically placed are these TVs. It is beautiful. Just a great place to go for anybody, including the entire family. Happy hour specials, damn good food. That's the District Tap. Locations, Clearwater Crossing, downtown Indy. To find out more, thedistricttap.com today.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed or your money back. Only $59.99. Destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, or weight gain, or your money back. Hypnosis January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss of 5:30 p.m., stop smoking at 8. And January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking at 2. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible.
You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Are you hungry, Indy? Cluster Truck, Indiana's go-to pickup and delivery kitchen, crushes all cravings. Pizza, tacos, salads. If you're craving it, it's probably on the menu. Order now at clustertruck.com and use code BIGFAN, all one word, for $5 off, $25 or more.
Heat and cool places where ductwork won't fit using Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits. You can even wrap them to match your decor.
Find out more at absolutecomfort.org.
The Ride with JMV.
No, this isn't an argument.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. It's just contradiction.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
It is. You just contradicted me.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did.
No.
You did, just then.
No, nonsense.
Oh, look, this is futile.
No, it isn't.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Well, I think our guys are professionals. They understood, going into the game, what the situation was. And you know what? We signed up for 17 of these things, and it's our job to go out and fight like crazy, to go give our best effort. And I thought our guys, played hard today and fought like crazy. You just fell short.
Shane Steichen about the Colts' loss to the Jaguars, 6 straight now. Trying to avoid 7 straight to close out the season. Welcome back. Monday edition. Wind down the year of 2025. Let me again... Surely to God, I don't have to explain this every time, right? What about that first segment when I said results are the only thing that... What are we not hearing here? What are we not hearing? And I know that some of you out there just want to shake your fists and be pissed and fight. But understand, Most of us are on the same page. This is not a big mystery. And I love you, Steve, in San Antonio, but come on, John, the injuries this team suffered this season should not be used as an excuse to run it back with Chris Ballard. What? When? What? I think I said that about a dozen stinking times. Jesus. You guys not here good? It's out of curiosity. I love you, Steve, but holy hell. This is not a mystery. All right? There's not any wizardry going on behind the scenes to try to keep you guys hanging on to a bad product. There's misguided belief. That's the way that it's been. And that's where you are right now. Again, I feel even more comfortable. Like, I will say this, going back to last January, and especially about Shane Steichen, I go, wow, man, maybe I'm going at this part a little bit too early. But, and again, in both September and October, it clearly looked like I was an idiot. And it's not like I need any help, but it clearly looked like I was an idiot. But now, it would have been better off had you done that. I think Shane Steichen can coach up some offense. And I think Shane Steichen is what got a great deal out of Daniel Jones. But I think that type of, how can I say this without it sounded like a backhanded compliment? Maybe I shouldn't say it. I think you need more than that with this group. Because it's not just that, that failure and that injury this season. It's this organization and this group right now, whether it's on the field or just philosophically speaking, it's a loser. And sometimes you just have to wipe the slate clean. And there's really no enjoyment at that. It's not like, oh, man, I can't wait to look at the numbers because here I am pissing and moaning again, man, because you guys are sick of it. And you're sure as hell sick of it when I get into a 7th, 8th, and 9th hour of it today. I know how you guys, I've been here for 25 years. I know exactly how you guys think. You're worn out of it. But you include both sides because you certainly don't know in this case. Again, as I mentioned with Jim Irsay, a lot of the time you could speculate and be in the general vicinity of accuracy. Yeah, with this one, you don't know. But I think most people are siding with me on this where everything needs a redirect right now. It just does. And it's nothing against, especially those that have brought positivity to it, I'm sure. But you are what the Bengals used to be. That's who you are. Oh, that's going way too far. Look at the numbers. The last division title. Where you are right now, finishing off 3 seasons as a coach against your 2 biggest rivals outside of the Tennessee Titans within your own division. 2-9, maybe going to be 2-10. These are things, unfortunately, it's not going to be a perfect world. You cannot put up with that. And so much of this losing mentality has been dealt with and put up with. At some point, you just got to say no to it. And I would love to be able to just push it off. Well, they're just, they're hexed or it's bad luck. They need an exorcism. And all that's really funny, and it does make me laugh a great deal. But it is a lot less about that and a lot more about decision-making and execution. My God, how many of these Decembers are supposed to be fun. Decembers around here are nightmares if you're a Colts fan. Nightmares. We have seen it all. And now we've really seen it all because you saw a high level of success. And unfortunately, that being fleeting. Injuries or not, the results matter the most. And I think we all know the results. There is no explaining that off the table of discussion. None. Absolutely none. So that's where I stand. And again, it sucks that we're going to have to live in this world that's bubble of negativity. And believe me, it's not going to be short-lived. There's going to be a lot more of it here. That's why I tell you all the time, when teams do some things that are special and especially high-level fun, you better jump on and hang on for the ride like the Pacers in the postseason. Because then we get to talk about this. There's nothing fun about this. But again, it can be if you change up. It can be if you develop a group that, for example, plays like the nice all hands on deck. I mean, around here, that's, great to just say as a quote, next man up. That used to be the Tony Dungy quote that everybody used around here. I don't know if it's ever next man up. I mean, next man is up, but you're also expected to find positivity and then find a source of winning with the next man up. San Francisco does that. I know it's just one team, but it's one great example of a team that does that. And we also saw Kyle Shanahan coach circles around this group back on Monday night. And then in a short week, do, what they did to survive against the Bears, and arguably one of the best games of the season last night is equally impressive. I'm not a Niners fan, but that whole thing, the way that they do, not having Kittle as a part of it and withstanding what they have to be playing for the number 1 overall seed coming up in the final regular season date, that's pretty impressive to me. That's what you got to get back to. It used to be a foregone conclusion. Remember, we used to be critical about things around here when you didn't win like 13 games. Oh, my God, 13 games. They didn't win 13 games. Remember those good times? Oh, I can't believe it. They're out early in the play. They didn't win the Super Bowl. They didn't go to a Super Bowl. Oh, my goodness. They didn't have a perfect season. Bill Polian stinks. Remember those arguments? Those are much better arguments. It's like rudderless right now, unless, the rudder that is working is taking you to a place where you certainly do not want to be. All right, 239-1070. Where do I start here, James? Tommy, on line 1. Tommy, you going to visit this show?
What's up, John? How you been, man?
Tommy, I'm great. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, so this is probably a boring topic for a different day, but I'm going to go ahead.
Cool. I need a different topic. I need a topic for a different day on today. That's good.
Ballard's replacement. Like, when you talk about a prospective job for any of these GMs, like, I know there's only 32 of them, and it's a highly sought-after job. But
yeah.
if you're a top-flight GM, there's multiple GM jobs. Why would you want to come to the Colts? You don't have your next 2 first-round picks. You don't have a quarterback. You might have like an overbearing owner who roams the sidelines. Like, why should a good GM want this job? Or next year.
Hey, Tommy, if I were to find out, let's just say, for example, hypothetically, they make changes, and we find out that you get guys that turn down the gig or a chance to interview because they don't like the situation, I would think that person is the biggest wussy of all time. And I would have zero respect for it. No, I mean, it's one thing if you don't have that gig and you want that gig, that's your goal, and you look at a job in the NFL that would be offered to you and turn it down because you don't like it, then you can piss off. That's what I would say.
I'm just saying there's multiple offers, and you're going after one of the top candidates. Like,
and that's a person. That's a person you don't want anyway. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and Tommy. Yeah, you're right, because that is a philosophy that's out there. But my philosophy is, all right, you don't like it, then piss off. We'll get somebody else.
Yep.
That's my. I mean, do you agree with that, or is that? I'm not trying to flex anything on this.
That.
I just that kind of wears me out. With it's one of the few jobs. I mean, if you can do the job, then do the job. If you can't, then wait on something else that's more comfortable for you. Right? It's like the high school kid or the college kid that's moving around. Get in a gig that's more comfortable for you right now. You'll be more comfortable there.
I'm saying if you're going after some of these top GMs, like in these top GMs have multiple different situations they're looking at. Like what?
Oh yeah, if you choose a different job, yes. If there's a different job that's open and you wanted that job, and then it's going to be whoever takes the Colts job to beat the crap out of you further down the road. But if you turn down the Colts job because you don't like the situation right now when it's offered to you or may be offered, then you don't. I wouldn't want you in the first place. That's just me.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, Tommy, thank you very much. I'm glad Tommy asked that, because obviously the job's not open. But if it were, I constantly hear that argument, and I don't want to hear that argument. I mean, either you believe in yourself and you're capable of doing it. I mean, listen, one thing about Chris Ballard, he believes in himself. It's been like 9 years of futility. But at least he believes in himself. You don't want somebody that goes, well, you know what? I'll just wait until next year. I don't want this gig right now because I'm not comfortable with it. You imagine turning down a general manager's job? That's the person you wouldn't want in the first place. James says break. I'll break. I'll get back to your calls coming up on the other side. Hey, by the way, are we all sounding good? Is the app good? Is the stream good?
I believe so.
AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. You can watch us right there. I think I'm live, local, and late breaking on camera, which is never a bad thing. Unless you're one of those that make fun of me. What do they call me? You've seen that? Like Ozempic guy or something. I don't even know if those. I don't even think I take Ozempic. I don't know what I take. But it works. I know that. You want to know why? Because I kick ass on it is why. That's why it works. Somebody says I look a lot older with it.
I haven't seen that.
Let me tell you what, brother, I'm turning back the clock right here. But I will say this, James, I'm officially wide open. I am looking right now. Anybody have any? I need a new doctor. My doctor's doing something different. What do you call it? A general practitioner?
General practice, yep.
I need a general practitioner, I guess. I need a new doc. Well, anybody who wants to be my doctor, and not a lot of you probably would say yes to this.
Well, they've heard you talk about how with your calf strain or your Achilles and all that stuff, and how you keep going out and playing on it.
I likely 100% of the time will not take your advice. But if you'd like to be my doctor, you let me know, because I am in the market. I'm looking for a new gig. Hey, and by the way, if you want to wait for somebody else to come along to be their doctor, then I don't want you anyway. That's my philosophy. Quick break. Back with you next.
If you or someone you know needs help putting food on the table, that help is closer than you think. The Fan cares. We've partnered with local food banks and organizations to provide resources for those who need them. Just go to 1075thefan.com and look for the banner that says Find Free Food near you. You'll find a link to Community Compass with an up-to-date and interactive map that shows locations, days, and times for you to collect food at no cost, as well as other resources to help you through this challenging time. Find community help now at 1075thefan.com.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Hey, John here for Andy Moore, Buick GMC. Who wants a new ride for the year 2026? We all want a new ride. I'm here to dictate the tempo. I love using that term, and I'm going to use it right here with my friend Eric Wilson. Why? Because I want your tempo to be hassle-free. I want it to be easy. I want you, much like the Eagles, to have that peaceful, easy feeling. And you get that with a car buying experience at Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37 in Fishers. My friend Eric Wilson will direct you to the inventory. We'll tell you all about the incentives to buy and get your 2026 off to a great, in fact, the best car buying experience start imaginable. All at one place. Satisfaction across the board is asked for my friend Eric Wilson at Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37 in Fishers.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Bowling, 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 keep them balls a-rolling. Bowling, 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 Royal Pin.
Ring in the new year at Royal Pin Entertainment's annual New Year's Eve celebration. Countdown to 2026 with a celebration the whole family will love. Get to Royal Pin from 9 p.m. to midnight on December 31st for 3 hours of fun and family-friendly excitement, including cosmic bowling, a complimentary appetizer board, a midnight toast, and a whole lot more. Each lane fits up to 6 guests. There's plenty of celebration to go around. So bring your friends, bring your family, and roll into 2026 with a bang. Spots fill up fast. Reserve your lane now at royalpin.com.
Set them up, knock them down, send them flying, spinning round.
Royal Pin Entertainment, where fun rolls into the new year.
Royal Pin, bowling, bowling, Royal Pin.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The top-ranked Hoosiers face the Crimson Tide of Alabama in the Rose Bowl. New Year's Day at 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Now you listen here. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Now go away.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
I'll evaluate that at the end of the year. But again, like I said, we're so grateful to play this game and coach this game, and it don't matter. Circumstances are what they are, and you go show up and you fight like crazy. You coach like crazy, and go give it your best effort every time you're out on that football field.
Shane Steichen right there. I'm John right here. Thank you for joining us. One game remaining for the Colts at 1 o'clock on Sunday. We'll start at 10 a.m. for you. Hey, I did want to get back to Steven San Antonio. I probably acted like a bit of a horse's ass right there. My bad. I like Steven San Antonio a great deal. I just want to make sure I don't want to get lumped in with, well, this is what I'm trying to be clear on the subject. And the reason why I brought it up and gave you my belief, or what I think the overwhelming belief compared to what easily could happen. That's what the reporters are giving you, and they're right about it. They're right about it. It's not that they're carrying water or brown-nosing or whatever some of you numbnuts say. It is because they're right about it, and that nobody knows how this is going to go down when this season ends next week. But I'm here to tell you, most people believe in what should go down. And with everything else that really doesn't matter, what truly does, results. And right now, the results have proven this franchise to be a losing franchise. You are this era's Bengals. And this hasn't worked. Not even with the 2 months of feel-good stuff. And you can't always excuse everything away. My bad, Steve, if you took that the wrong way. Wow, look at me. I'm all grown up. When Schuler's spreadability, that's going to give you some Monday night snacking at an elite level. How about you? Who's having a New Year's Eve party listening to the JMV Takeover? At the very least, I may not know the equipment very well, and it's going to be jacked up beyond belief, so that's going to be entertaining. I'm going to be running it, so it's already going to be slightly jacked up. But when Schuler's for that New Year's Eve party, make sure you got it going. When Schuler's spreadability, you're going to find that at Neiman's Harvest Market, which, by the way, in Carmel is an outstanding location. That's a destination for the greatest in meats and cheeses, including Win Schuler's. Gordon's Food Service around the state of Indiana, and your favorite Meijer location. Win Schuler's spreadability. James, did you know we're going to have a brand new Double Shot Power sponsor coming up on the JMV Takeover?
Are we
High
really?
Noon.
Oh, I love
High
a good
Noon
High Noon.
is in now. I just don't know how to phrase it yet. Let's have a High Nooner. Two for high. I mean,
you can workshop it.
Yeah. High Noon Hard Seltzer Double Shot. We start coming up on New Year's Eve on Wednesday. I'm cramming like crazy right here, too. Seriously. Cramming for you. Yeah, thank you guys for reaching out. Josh, and I know Bobby Jefferson did as well. My mom okay last night, and unfortunately, it did not blow any of her animals away. But it was heavy. I'm just joking. Not really. It was heavy wind, no tornado, but there were tornadoes in and around Greene County and Linton, Indiana, especially downtown, got hit pretty hard. So thoughts out to everybody there. But thank you for thinking about G, because G gave me the 6:30 wake-up call with all is well. Thank you, G. Thank you guys, too. Hour 2, your calls if you're on hold. Stephen Holder in a little over an hour. We got a lot more to discuss with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Your home for indie sports. Now with even more ways to listen.
Listen on air.
Online at 1075thefan.com.
And on our free app.
Stay connected to all things indie sports, including the latest news, show blogs, and catch up on what you've missed with our podcast.
We're never more than just a click away.
Download our app at Google Play and on the App Store. From your home for indie sports.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome to Wawa. We're open 24/7, so when the sun goes down but everyone's still up, Wawa has your late night fuel. Headed to a hangout? Stop in for snacks and sodas. Binge your favorite shows with burgers and hoagies. Gather around the table with garlic knots and a cheesy Wawa pizza. Or just chill on the couch with fries and whatever milkshake sounds good. Your night just got a whole lot tastier. Freshly made burgers, pizza, and so much more. When you got a late night craving, you got a Wawa. Price and participation may vary by store.
Hey, Johnny for WeGrowHairEddie.com. So if you looked in the mirror and you go, what in the world happened here? Where's that going? Or maybe in the sink, or I know you're like Arthur Fonzarelli in the mirror combing your hair, and man, there's like more in the comb or the brush than there is on top of your head, and you want to do something about it? multi-unit hair grafting, Artist Robotic FUE. Those are things offered by the absolute best. Darren Andrews and WeGrowHairIndy.com. 9-year repping WeGrowHairIndy.com for a reason. They're the absolute best. So if you don't want to lose that hair, you don't want it all going down the drain or all stuck in the hairbrush. If you want your real growing hair again, 317-522-2995. Start the new year off right with some fantastic lettuce at WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
The following is a district-wide service announcement from the District Tap.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. Wait, hey, can we say that? Damn good food?
Yes, I'm told that damn good food is totally acceptable. Go ahead and pick it up from there.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. And don't get me started on all the sports at the tap. Over 60 big f***ing screens with as much NFL and collegiate football action as you can handle. Weeknight matchups? Yeah, we have weeknight games. Looking for a spot downtown to catch that game? Get your f***ing ass over to our new downtown location at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Game on at the District Tap. How's that?
Fantastic.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and downtown at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Online at thedistricttap.com.
JMV here for my friends at Premier Weight Loss. You know what's funny? When I was in my teens, body exploration meant something completely different than it does now that I'm 56 years of age. I can say now that it means, where am I on my weight loss journey? Down nearly 80 pounds. How about my body fat percentage? Down from 35% to 13%. Now it's time to add muscle mass, or lean mass, if you will, with the tone stimulation machine that they have at Premier Weight Loss. You can do the same. Weight loss journey and then tone up with Thomas and Samantha and the gang at Premier Weight Loss. It will work for you. That's PWLND.com. Mention my name. For the first 10 days in the month of December, you could win 2 lower-level tickets to see the Niners and the Colts. If you want to lose the weight, if you want to feel better, it's PWLND.com. You can do it. Tell them JMV sent you. PWLND.com today.
With Wawa's Rewards program, you can rack up points on the items you buy every day, even fuel. Boost your totals with a breakfast sizzling. Score points with your morning coffee. With Wawa Rewards, points put the power in your hands. You can choose to redeem them for what you love most, like an iced latte for an extra pick-me-up or your lunchtime hoagie. Download the Wawa app today. When you gotta get rewarded, you gotta Wawa. Fuel rewards not available in New Jersey or were legally prohibited. See full details at wawarewards.com. Price of participation may vary by store.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text PACK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PEC to 321-321. That's PACK to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Heat and cool your man cave, attic, garage, or bonus room without adding ductwork with Mitsubishi Electric ductless mini splits.
To find out more, just go to absolutecomfort.org.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BP, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
We have the holy hand grenade. Yes, of course. The holy hand grenade of Antioch. Right. 1, 2, 5. 3.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Pretty good. Obviously 5 years out and coming out and battling. Obviously very appreciative of that. I know our players are in that locker room, the coaches, him coming out one last time and fighting like crazy. It was impressive to see, and him being in the locker room with the guys, his fight, his character, his passion for the game, inspirational to a lot of people, not just our players, but, people around the world watching football. It's pretty cool.
Will you decide if he's going to play next week?
I'll figure that out Tuesday.
Shane Steichen right there. Welcome. Hour 2 of the show. Thank you all for joining us. So, thumbs up or thumbs down for 3 weeks of Rivers? Thumbs up. Was it worth it? I mean, it really wasn't worth it, was it? I mean, you had an interesting story. You had to win a game for it to be worth it. Did it make you feel good? Were you embarrassed? I like Phillip Rivers, but what good came of it? I mean, you still lost, right? Get your thoughts on that at 239-1070 if you so desire. The AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Hey, speaking of AAA out there, James, look out the window. We have windows now. It's snowing. Is that Eddie Garrison out there with his hood up?
Very likely could be. He came in here to remote start his car earlier.
Let's see. What's Eddie Garrison checking out there? I don't think Eddie Garrison is any sort of master mechanic. Man, you need to get a photo of that. We need to put that up on the website or something. Eddie Garrison with his hood up out there on his car. I believe that to be, what is that like out there? A 2017 Chevy Impala? Know what that is from a distance?
That seems right.
But Eddie Garrison runs Quarrying Company, works on his car, and then comes back in to run the Pacers later on tonight. What do you think's the easiest out of those three things? Running the Pacers, working on your car, or running Quarrying Company?
At this point in the new studio, maybe working on the car.
I would guarantee the most enjoyable, satisfying is probably working on the car.
So maybe not in this weather.
By the way, Pacers tonight, no McConnell. Pacers tonight, no Matherin, and no Jay Huff. And they have stank, and stunk as we're over the hump of this time of year. They have been stinking. And the part that I hate the most is when Siakam felt compelled when asked to come out and, break down what these guys, when they understand when prioritizing winning, I guess, over the acceptance of losing. I would have hoped you would not have to explain it like that. Alas, he did. JMV, the losing weight ad, Premier Weight Loss, by the way. Premier Weight Loss is going to start the new year with a great deal. If you want to lose the weight, maybe you've got a New Year's resolution, Premier Weight Loss, PWLND.com. Yeah, I know. I've cut a new spot. The one still talks about Niners Colts tickets. Somebody's got to slide the old one out and the new one in. I can't do everything around here. Somebody's got to do it. Josh says, NWS, that's the National Weather Service, confirmed an hour ago a tornado hit Linton last night. If you saw any of the pictures of downtown Linton, they did have a building collapse. So a tornado did hit. That was not near where my mom lives. However, I was in Linton earlier last week. Last Tuesday, I believe. No, last Wednesday. So, yeah, quick shot to everybody down there. Shout out to Marshall R. Teague for getting back with me, James, on my Roadhouse X message a little bit earlier today. In case you don't know who Marshall R. Teague would be, Marshall R. Teague is the actor that played Jimmy in Roadhouse. Friend of the show, Jimmy. Just had some glorious quotes. Had a great look. And enjoyed fighting the late, great Patrick Swayze. Very true. Jimmy and Roadhouse. Brian Thomas writes this, trade alert, why not trade Buckner, Pittman, Taylor, Nelson, don't re-sign DJ, multiple leg injuries at this point. I will say this, it's not going to go down like that, and they are going to bring back Daniel Jones, but I would agree on, to me, it's not even about getting him back expeditiously here. It's about once he gets back, do you hold your breath and wait on another injury? Because it is multiple. You're right about that, Brian. Now, there will be some veteran bodies that you're used to seeing you will no longer see. I just don't think it's going to go down like that. Yeah, just a thought. JMV, one question here. If you don't listen to your current doctor, does that make you the smartest person in the room? That seems to be a common denominator these days. I don't think I believe I'm the smartest person in the room. Just in terms of that, sometimes I will dance to the beat of my own drum, if that makes sense. And that's a lame way to put it. But sometimes I'll do what I want to do. But I am, as Dave mentions, I am looking for a doctor. My doctor does something different now. I believe that's Dr. Dave is my doctor. Shout out to Dr. Dave, or Dr. Dave, as I pronounced it. What a great dude. But I am looking for a new doctor. I've got to have some stuff done. I got to find out some things here, James. Lickety. I've got to turn my head and cough. I think I'm in need of a physical. Does anybody out there want to give me a physical?
We should do a contest.
239-1070. Would you like to give me a physical?
Caller number 9 gets to give JMV a physical.
Would that be in terms of winning or losing? The losing caller has to give me a physical. So if you would like to be my doctor or know somebody that would like to be my doctor, let me know. We'll check out the credentials and go from there. JMV, the text line is open, by the way. 239-1070 is that text line. Assuming we wouldn't have made the postseason anyway after injuries, then why not have a feel-good 3 weeks to sell out the stadium and Old Man Rivers lose? I think the Jacksonville game, the Monday night and the Jacksonville game, I think we're going to be sold out anyway. I don't think you necessarily needed the presence of Phillip Rivers. Everybody believes I'm a downer on that. But it really wasn't worth it, was it, James?
Well, I just about to say, I have an update from Eddie Garrison about his car issues. Okay. It was a 2017 Chevy Malibu.
Ooh, I was close.
You were very close, man. He has water in his headlight and was trying to figure out where it was coming in at.
Oh, man.
Sounds fun.
Any mechanics out there? Eddie Garrison has water in his wallflowers, one headlight.
On his 2017 Chevy Malibu.
How can he fix it? Express Pro Tire and Auto. Where's my man Mike? Mike, call in with a solution for Eddie Garrison, would you, brother? Too many injuries, uncertainties, all assuming Buckner is going to be healthy, which I don't think he will be. He won't be the same. Time to make a big move now and pull the Band-Aid off and give it over with. That's John from Center Grove. And I feel really comfortable in saying this overall too, John, to add to that, because it's not like you've done a little bit and you're making this incredible jump. You have exhausted every conceivable angle. You have seen it all. And at this point in time, enough's enough. You went above and beyond in your belief, and your return has been taken out of the postseason again with 2 games to go in the regular season. And this is you started out, you've seen it all. You started out bad. You started out good. You dive into free agency. You don't dive into free agency. You're philosophical about the trenches and depth and all this and the quarterback. You have seen and done it all. But make no mistake, this is the new school Bengals from when everybody used to make fun of the Bengals. And you got to wiggle loose from this because, as you saw, and you've seen this before with the Bengals, you've seen this with Buffalo in the past, it is, as it has been for the Colts, incredibly hard to get back up. Ooh, I like this. James, consider Dr. Adam Price. His practice is at St. Francis, 135 and Stones Crossing Road. He takes time and listens. Dale, shout out to Dale. Dr. Adam Price is going, good Lord, Dale, you recommended me to this horse's rear end? What are you doing?
What's funny is I could have recommended my own dad, but he just retired this past summer. So
your dad's a doctor?
He was a doctor.
What? I didn't know that. I'll tell you what, Fulton has no less than 5 times, and I love his sweatsuit and his disco outfit from Christmas.
You know, he called to tell me I needed to ask you about that.
Let's celebrate with a brand new red and black disco suit. This is from Fulton, by the way. Disco outfit, and let's party. Now, he did write, what's your New Year's revolution and not resolution. My revolution is going to be, you know what? It's time to start new, football team. That's the revolution. The revolution would be advancing past Bama if you're IU in the Rose Bowl on Thursday. The revolution would be, hey, can we get some guys that truly understand and prioritize winning over the acceptance of losing and not have to have Pascal Siakam tell you all about that? That's my revolution. All right, 239-1070 is that number. My man Mike is in Brooklyn, New York. Hello, Mike.
Hey, JMV, what's up?
Mike, good to hear from you, bro.
Yeah, listen, I got three. There's really, my take is there's like really 3 scenarios. You know, obviously, number one is, you know, what you outlined, run it back. You know, if you believe in the first 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, you believe Shane Steichen is the guy with Daniel Jones, then you run it back with Ballard, and, you know, it makes no sense to saddle a GM if you want change and then give him Steichen. We've seen that with Pagano and Ballard already. So if that's what you're going to do, I will say that I'm with you. I think Ballard has done a good job this year. I mean, you know, he went for, you know, he did it. He went for it. He made good moves. He got good free agency signings. I think the Sauce Gardner trade, yeah, he overpaid, but he had to. You know, we knew he was going to overpay. Daniel Jones move, it didn't work out. You know, he wasn't perfect, but I think he's done a good job. And I do think that Ballard, the reason he's there is he is a good personnel man. Just as a talent evaluator, you know, there's talent on this Colts team. There's good young talent. Now, if you want to take option number 2, which would be you still believe in Steichen, but you think that Ballard, you know, you need a little bit of a fresh approach with still maintaining some continuity. Do you know, promote Ed Dodds? You know, you offload Ballard, you promote Dodds, which then would be, well, Dodds was there for the whole thing. He's his right-hand man, but you would have they're different men. They may have a little different philosophies, including Dodds was the voice of dissent on Anthony Richardson. Or you could also, if you wanted to really, I was thinking about it, you know, Tom Telesco is available from the Polian era, and he was with Steichen in San Diego for all those years that Steichen was there. I don't know if that would be something that could work if you want to make a change, or, you know, stick with the same thing. Or if you got number 3, which is, I'm sure, what you believe. I know that's what you believe, and what I believe, and what most of it is, you know, this time, you know.
It's plug pulling time is what it is. I mean, it just is. And I think, Mike, that's our philosophy, but what the reporters around here are giving is an accurate portrayal of what could be, because they're constantly in social media getting a barrage, you know, of these, hey, it's time to go, it's time to do this, time to do that. But you have to present this as accurately as possible, and you have no idea what Carly Ursay-Gordon is going to do, plus the fact, you know, if you made this decision to move forward, come hell or high water, at the NFL trade deadline, and you're going to stick to that, I can easily see it, and the reason why it's so easy to see is because we have seen a little bit of everything in the past 9 years around here, and at this point, nothing would surprise me. So, yeah, that would make sense. I wouldn't like it, but it makes sense to have a theory that ultimately could be the decision.
Yeah, I'm with you, and like you said, you mentioned it last week. It might be the best scenario. You know, I don't want to jinx it, because I will tell you this: I am monitoring this weekend very close, the results here this weekend, because for all these years, I would say, if I could pick one coach in the NFL that I would want to be the Colts coach, and I'm an old school guy and everything, and I could pick one guy, it would be Mike Tomlin. So if Mike Tomlin is offloaded by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm hoping Carly is consulting with Tony Dungy, because I think that a Mike Tomlin move would be the equivalent. You could make the case that would be like hiring Tony Dungy all over again. I mean, I am a big Mike Tomlin guy. That's the type of guy, that's the type of coach as a head coach that I would want as to be the head coach. A head coach. You know, Shane Steichen, great offensive coordinator, great offensive mind, but just like Josh McDaniels and Mike Martz and a million others, that's what his position is. That's where he belongs. He could go on and have a long career as an offensive coordinator if he gets with the right head coach, just like now Josh McDaniels has gotten with Mike Vrabel. And Chris Ballard is a great talent evaluator. Just as a philosophically and as a team builder, and, you know, like Bill Polian was taskmaster, you know, that's not him, and I don't think that's what he wants.
Would you be okay with Steichen staying, even, you know, if you change the general man? Would that satisfy you? Because I'm not against that. I would believe you just move forward with it all together being changed, but especially considering, you know, the record between that of the Texans and the Jaguars with the Colts in 3 years here. But
yeah, that too.
And that, I mean, that, you know, it's okay to try to at times excuse stuff away for injuries, because injuries do matter, but that's an ugly stat. It just is. Within your own division, teams that are on the climb, and then your team that's consistently been the bottom of the barrel. Mike, anything else? I got to run here, my brother.
No, that's it. I'd be on board with anything. I think Carly's the right one, but I would say, like I said, Mike Tomlin is the game changer. If he's available, I'm going to be crossing both fingers and rabbit's foots and everything else that he's the man.
Mike,
right,
thank
Anthony,
you.
Have a happy New Year.
Mike, thank you very much. Hey, James, take me on a talk back right there, would you? There we go. Thanks, Mike. What the hell was that?
Apparently, I can just leave my talk back on. I just figured that out.
Well, don't do that ever again. You wait until Wednesday. You know how much stuff I'm going to be so jacked up in that B1057 studio over there. It's not even going to be funny. I hope you guys, listen, and part of it is that's what you guys do expect, is it to be jacked up. But I'm trying.
It'll be a very interesting listen for this first takeover.
I am, I'm cramming like crazy. Really am. If you're on hold, I'll get to you on the other side, too. Remember, we have Colts Roundtable tonight. Pacer pregame after that. Pacers on the road in Houston. No Huff, no Matherin, no McConnell against the Rockets. That is going to be ugly coming up later on tonight. Boilermakers also in action for you, too. And the Hoosiers embark to Pasadena, California. Getting set for the Rose Bowl coming up on Thursday against Bama. A lot of conversation on that still to come. Do not go anywhere. Stephen Holder in less than 30 or so minutes, actually a little over 30 or so minutes from now. Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully you had a great holiday. Hopefully you're hanging with us. The stream, the app, the AAA membership lounge via YouTube Live. Become a AAA member today. I love seeing everybody in Touchdown Town and at Bullseye. What a great party atmosphere. And you guys as fans were great in the stadium yesterday. Just great. Didn't work out in the win column, but I got to give you credit. Knowing what you knew going in there and you still gave it up, shout out to you. Stream the app, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. This is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
This is the Colts Review on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. here's the voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor.
Good afternoon, and this is the Colts Review, and welcome inside the Indiana Union Construction Industry Radio Studio. The Colts fell to the Jaguars on Sunday, 23-17 in the regular season home finale. It was the sixth straight loss for the Colts, and it drops their record down to 8-8. The Colts were eliminated from playoff contention before they even took the field on Sunday. That's because of Houston's win over the Chargers on Saturday. But the Colts battled all game long, but it wasn't enough against a Jacksonville team that's now 12-4 and winners of 7 straight games, and they sweep the Colts here in 2025. The Colts scored points on their first 2 drives of the game, and they led 10-0 in the second quarter and would lead 10-7 at halftime thanks to 2 red zone takeaways by the Colts defense, including a Jermaine Pratt pick in the end zone. But the Colts racked up 130 yards in the first half, but the second half showed why the Jaguars have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Past halftime, the Colts only mustered 74 yards and 6 first downs. The 204 total yards for the Colts on the day were a season low, and Jonathan Taylor's day mirrored the Colts' overall offensive output. After gaining 48 yards on 11 carries on the first 2 possessions, Taylor had only 32 yards on 10 carries the rest of the game for 70 yards on 21 carries. That's the first time he's failed to go over 100 yards or more against the Jaguars at home in his career. Taylor did, however, find the end zone in the first half and became the 4th player in NFL history with at least 18 rushing touchdowns in multiple career seasons. He joins Emmitt Smith, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Priest Holmes in that regard. And he also became the 6th player in NFL history with at least 9,000 scrimmage yards and 75 scrimmage touchdowns in his first 6 seasons, joining Sean Alexander, Adrian Peterson, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, and also LaDainian Tomlinson in that effect. Phillip Rivers started again for the Colts at quarterback, completed 17 of 30 passes for 147 yards and a touchdown to Mo Alley-Cox in the second half. That was Mo's first touchdown of the season, by the way. But the Jaguars picked off Rivers in the fourth quarter and outscored the Colts 6-0 in the final frame to claim the win. And for Jacksonville, the win gives them 12 victories on the season for the first time since 2005. And now they're 1 win away from winning the AFC South in Week 18 as they host the Titans down in Duval County. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll be watching playoff football from home for the 5th straight season. That's their longest drought since a 7-season stretch of missing the playoffs from 1988 to 1994. And unfortunately, the Colts are just the 6th team since the 1970 merger to open up 7-1 and failed to earn a playoff berth, and the first to do it since the 2012 Chicago Bears. The Colts will close out the season against another very good team inside the AFC South coming up on Sunday when they travel to Houston to take on the 11-5 Texans. Houston is guaranteed a playoff berth as well, and Sunday's game will mark the 6th straight game the Colts have played against a team with at least 11 wins at this point in the season. And that's it for the Colts Review today here on your home for the Colts, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, Johnny, for Winchula Spreadability, you got the greatest in cheese spreads, original sharp cheddar bacon and cheddar jalapeno pepper. You got it just in time for New Year's Eve. The party starts with the Spreadability. Crackers, chips, vegetables, elite level snacking, Winchula style. Find it at your favorite Meijer location in the state of Indiana.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
It's JMV for BullseyeEventGroup.com. The Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. All you can eat, all you can drink. Before each Colts home game, make your game day experience the best it can be. Entertained inside the Bullseye Event Center and the great food from celebrity chef Kelsey Murphy. That and more, and combo up your passes with tickets to the game. That's the BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Get your passes now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
When it came to setting them up for a bright future, Indiana Tech did more for these graduates than they ever imagined.
It helped me land my dream job and continue to serve people.
It put me in a position to help others reach their potential.
It gave me the background and the confidence to keep aiming higher.
It gave me a platform to help make a difference for others.
With flexible online classes, personalized support to help you succeed, over 100 high-quality career-focused certificates, and degrees in in-demand fields like business, healthcare, engineering, criminal justice, information technology, cybersecurity, and more.
I earned a Master's of Business Administration and Marketing.
I completed my Bachelor's of Business Administration and my MBA, Master's of Business Administration.
I was able to graduate with my Bachelor's of Science and Computer Engineering.
Isn't it time to see what Indiana Tech can do for you?
There's no better time than now.
Learn more at online.indianatech.edu.
Registration for the next class session ends January 9th.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Baseball great Lou Gehrig was known as the Iron Horse for playing 2,130 consecutive games. But it was his reaction to his greatest challenge, the fatal diagnosis of ALS, that made Gehrig a household name and a beacon of strength for all those facing the disease. The Live Like Lou Foundation honors Lou's legacy and inspires hope for a world where ALS is no longer fatal. Donate or volunteer today at livelikeLou.org.
If it's happening with the Indianapolis Colts,
they give it to Taylor.
Then it's happening on the Fan.
Jacksonville has the lead for the first time. The first touchdown of the season for Mo Alley Cox, and he made it with one hand. Colts back on top into the end zone, and it is intercepted by Jacksonville. Antonio Johnson ends the game, and the Colts losing skid now 6 games.
Sports Radio 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
The official home of the Indy Sports Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yeah, but they were all bad.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Second down and goal at the 5. Rivers dips under center, I formation. Taylor the back. Tight end left is Will Mallory. Tight end right is Tyler Warren. Rivers throws in zone and lobs it upfield, and it is a catch. A one-handed grab by Mo Alley Cox. Are you kidding me? The first touchdown of the season for Mo Alley Cox, and he made it with one hand. He brings it in for the touchdown. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y. Colts back on top, 16-14.
Our good friend Matt Taylor there, the voice of the Colts on the call. Colts a loser. That was a touchdown pass from Rivers to Mo Alley Cox. Hey, by the way, too, shout out to Kristen Airy, who was listening and said, hey, numbnuts. And I would be the numbnuts. Said, it is Huff, McConnell in, Matherin in, Shepard out. And I found the root of, and this is yet another reason, not only do I need a new doctor, but I also need an optometrist because my eyesight's getting bad. This is a shout out to Tony East, who had this accurate. Officially, Jay Huff and TJ McConnell in, Ben Shepard out. And for some reason, I read that officially Jay Huff, Benedict Matherin, and TJ McConnell out. So, my bad. And a shout out to Denary listening. Pacers in Houston later on tonight. Your coverage right here later on this evening after the Fan, coming up after Colts Roundtable with Matt Taylor, Joe Wright, and Rick Venturi coming your way later on this evening. But Huff, McConnell in, Matherin in, Shepard out. And the host of this show also needs a new optometrist. So I'm taking names right now. Gutshot chimes in, JMV, if you attribute the Colts situation to bad luck and injuries, why would anyone believe Ballard and Stiken would be capable of pulling them out of this colossal hole that they have dug? Pull the plug on everyone. Wiping the slate clean is what I said back in January, and then I looked really stupid in the first 2 months of the season, and now I look really smart again. JMV, probably been asked, but have you said anything about this? I don't understand why Sauce Gardner was playing. It's like this organization is so poorly run, and they prove it with most every decision they make. What are the odds he does something and is injured into next year? Well, there's zero way you're going to play in that final week. I can almost understand a little bit why you play yesterday, why he would want to play yesterday. Because right now, this looks like one of the worst deals ever. And he hadn't played very much, and you want to get... So I do kind of understand that. Honestly, when he was out there, I thought that he played pretty well yesterday. But yeah, now you certainly, Matthew, go, hey, no. I don't understand this. Can anybody help me? This is maybe a question for Rick Venturi. So I've constantly heard from people out there that Jalen Jones doesn't fit what Lou Anarumo does. But every time I see him out there, he seems like he's making play. Both Jones and Mitchell make plays. Is that lost on me? Like a Tony East quote on X that I misread and have to be corrected? I thought both of those guys played well yesterday, and both those guys give me the sense that they could be a part of this. Yes? No? Maybe? Just a thought. JMV, the Reds have more hope than the Colts. What is this, 1990? Yeah. Well, wait until we get into the Red season, and then you'll see what, again, a lack of hope looks like. Guarantee you. JMV, I don't think the Rivers experiment was as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure what other options were out there. The Colts had, if any, plus Rivers isn't the one that lost them the 2 games. No pass rush. Sauce Gardner being out. Robert in Noblesville. I just kind of look back on it and go, was it worth it? Does it really matter? Did he give you good enough of a feel-good, heartwarming storyline that you just go, what are we doing here? I think we still kind of lean on, what are we doing here? My belief, anyway. 239-1070 is that number. Who's been on hold the longest over there, James? I can't see that part of it. You tell me.
Let's go with Nick on line 2.
Nick's on line 2. Hello, Nick.
John, how you doing?
Nick, I'm great. Thanks for the call.
Hey, thank you. You're doing a great job covering this. Got a deep question for you. I'll explain myself if you give me a second. Whether change comes or not, whether we oust Ballard, oust Stiken, and we send them wherever they got to go, or to whatever hole from whence they came. I have a question for you about the bigger picture. Carly Ursay-Gordon's got a bigger thing, and I've called once or twice just kind of asking your thoughts here and there, just picking your brain, because your average fan may or may not know this, but we are coming to the end of the 2020 decade, and as we approach the early 2030s, I think people forget to understand that there's a certain contractual decision that has to be made, because if people forget or not, the Colts have got to make a declaration of whether they're going to stay in the city of Indianapolis, at least per their contract. Now, last time I checked, in light of the current state of circumstances, our fan base is pretty divided. And if the fan base is pretty divided, voters are pretty divided. And if history serves, if memory serves, look at teams like the Raiders, look at teams like the Rams, and most recently look at teams like the Bengals that threatened Cincinnati not too long ago. Now, I don't think any duly elected official is going to want to keep a team here with a 50% support rate, because if you did that today, you're probably going to look at a half and half kind of a support. Now, let's say we keep Ballard another year. That's another year of wasted time. Now, if we completely clean house and we put a 4-year plan in play and we get some guy with some stones in there for a GM like you talked about, and say, give us a 4-year plan of how we can instill some hope back in this fan base. So come 2030, you're going to get support to want to keep the team here and continue the sweetheart deal that Mayor Bart Peterson gave Carly Ursay's old man, may he rest in peace, and she'll feel more inclined to want to stay too. Because as expensive as things are, as much as it costs to take your kids to a Colts game, you're dropping about a dime or two in there to have a good time. Now, if they're just going to be lax, if there's going to be this mediocre team that doesn't care about whether they lose or not, how much support do you think they're going to get? I mean, there's a decision that has to be made, and 2029, 2030 is going to be here before you know it.
Hey, Nick, I'll start right there, and you can hang on with me. I think that certainly that they would get more of a 50% rating, I would guess. If I saw what I saw yesterday with a team that was out of the playoffs officially, I was impressed with the crowd. And I think we saw that in both September and October when everybody got all excited again about this team. I don't think it just comes down to that. Now, I will tell you, I don't know a lot about the financials. I think that's probably more of a dictator in this than anything else might be. And I don't even want to get into it because I don't really understand it or know, what's said that they don't have or what they do have or whatever. I would have to think, and again, you never say never, especially in the world of sports nowadays, but I would have to think that it would take some incredible circumstances for this team to be out of this market in my lifetime, if you know what I mean.
No, I get what you're saying.
Or your lifetime. So I guess I'm not so much worried about that. And I think, again, what we saw in September and October, when you're still even a little bit unsure as people were back then, but excited about the product again, I think that gives you more reason as to why, all right, you got to find a level of consistency. And even though you had that with this group, you haven't had that enough. And a fresh new feeling in this case is what is going to be necessary. So I don't know if that backs up our argument or not. But, yeah, them leaving is not something that I certainly have had on the front burner. And I will also say this. They want to win. All right, they want to win, but the execution and the decision-making have kept them from doing that. That's what has to change. They want to win. Nobody's going out there saying, you know what, let's jack around. We don't want to win. They want to win, but they haven't been good enough with a combination of execution and decision-making consistently at all to see winning. And that's why results matter. And that is the common ground you have to get back to at some point here.
No, I get you, John. But at the same time, I mean, they're sending mixed signals if they're saying they want to win. Because as a voter, I can tell you right now, as much as things have inflated since the start of COVID, you want to go down there, take a kid to a game, and they're just out there just screwing around on the field, and we're just engaging in deja vu all over again, Groundhog's Day, whatever you want to call it. I'm telling you right now, no one ever thought the Raiders would leave. No one ever thought the Rams would leave. I know you say never say never.
Yeah.
But,
I understand where you're coming from here. I think we're kind of on two. I think that if what you're talking about happens is going to be more about the financials of taking over ownership, if you will, and not so much about, whether or not people believe in the product here.
It depends on what Carly wants. But I think it also is going to
these are other things we don't know. We're not privy to. We believe we know what we know, but we're not really privy to it long term, and the effects on the family with the family business in this case. So there are just a lot of things that I think I could navigate through. I don't think that's one of them right now. But as I always say in the world of sports nowadays, you can never say never. Because we've seen the landscape really on so many different levels in so many different avenues change on a dime. But that's not one thing I'd be worried about right now, I guess, Nick.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they stick with the status quo, I can tell you right now, you're right. They have such a most publicly subsidized stadium in the NFL. But I'm telling you right now, if she sticks with good old boy Ballard, I'll tell you right now, if they do decide to stay and the city is fine with it, Carly, if we're sitting in this position with this guy here on a 14-year stint, she better not ask for dime one.
Well, I will say this. I don't think you don't want ownership, bending to, the angry mob, so to speak. In this case, the mob's accurate. You don't want the fans you don't want your fans making the decisions. That's why you have to have somebody competent making the decisions.
That stadium. Taxpayers that are paying for that stadium.
No, I mean you want I'm talking about a lower level. I'm talking about decision making on the field. You don't want dictating who you have and when you get rid of them, but I think we're all understanding now that it is time. This is not an angry mob, is what I'm saying. This is an understanding group that have been through it. You've seen it all now. They've tried it all now, and it hasn't worked, and it's time to reset it.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, when they made that stadium, the most subsidized stadium in the NFL, it made every taxpayer in the city of Indianapolis a shareholder. And she better keep her ear open because they should have a say as to who runs this team in terms of GM and coach, because if they're sending signals, they care about winning, but the product in the field says otherwise, in my opinion, when it comes time to putting ink to paper, I think that has to be taken into consideration. Don't ask for renovations. Don't ask for anything. We'll just stick with the current deal until you can prove to this city that you care about winning and you bring us back to some semblance of the Peyton Manning days or some level semblance of success. I'm dubious about it.
Are you sure this is not Tony Katz? Are you Tony Katz that just called in here under an assumed name? Is this who this is?
No, not pundit, brother, but no.
Right,
I appreciate your thought.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I will say this. Subsidies and taxes and taxpayer money and, like, I know my role, and I know I'm really smart enough to know what I don't know. And I know most of the time you guys wouldn't tune in to hear me have a great deal of insight on that, because you're going to go, this jackass has no idea what he's talking about. And I will tell you that. I just don't think now is the time to be overly concerned about that. Now, if you get further down the road, okay. Now is the time to be concerned about this product and the decision-making that surrounds this product and the execution as a part of this product. And if you think I'm just saying a lot of words to get away from a topic that I probably aren't, I'm not too privy, and probably so. But again, you know what you don't know. I had to look up a lot of words in what Tony Katz Jr. just told me here on the air. Shout out to Tony Katz Jr. And I know a lot of you will agree with that too. And I know that Nick was really smart. I'm not making a lot of what Nick had to say at all. I'm just telling you, I'm not going to front burner that right now in the conversation. But, the ownership thing moving forward has been brought up in the past. So that was not a first time. Well-read, though, would be Nick. Nick, thank you for the call. We'll come back with you on the other side. Stephen Oler's going to join us coming up in about 15 minutes. Other than that, you and I at 239-1070. The AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Are you watching? Are you looking? And yes, thank you all for those honest opinions on my doc. I need a new doctor. Doctor, can't you see I'm burning? Not the Thompson twins doctor, but doctor. New doctor and evidently an optometrist too, considering the information I gave you regarding the Pacers in Houston coming up later on tonight. Quick break. We'll come back with you guys. Do not go anywhere. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome to Wawa. We're open 24/7, so when the sun goes down but everyone's still up, Wawa has your late night fuel. Headed to a hangout? Stop in for snacks and sodas. Binge your favorite shows with burgers and hoagies. Gather around the table with garlic knots and a cheesy Wawa pizza. Or just chill on the couch with fries and whatever milkshake sounds good. your night just got a whole lot tastier. Freshly made burgers, pizza, and so much more. When you got a late night craving, you got a Wawa. Price and participation may vary by store.
107.5 The Fan and Franciscan Health present Good for the Heart Fridays. Listen to Jake Query every Friday to hear a heartwarming story from our local community. Jake knows firsthand the importance of heart health. Jake and The Fan have teamed up with Franciscan Health to make a difference, one beat at a time. Good for the Heart Fridays, brought to you by Franciscan Health Heart Center. Learn proactive measures to keep your heart healthy and schedule your heart scan at franciscanhealth.org/screening bundles.
I love the District Tap. So much to do. So much time you can spend, and the enjoyment with you and your friends, you and the family, whatever you need for that enjoyment, whether it's in the midday, it's in the afternoon, it's in the evening, it is the District Tap. Hey, check out their happy hour specials. Those are awesome, too. The damn good food, you're going to find that as well. The District Tap is a destination location, whether you're on the north side of Clearwater Crossing or in downtown Indy, especially if something is going on at the Field House. And a shout out to Michael, the owner of the District Tap, always doing a fantastic job. The District Tap. 2 locations, north side, Clearwater Crossing, and in downtown Indy. Find out about the event space that they have for your party, the live music that they have for your entertainment, and the overall incredible experience of the District Tap. That's thedistricttap.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite guaranteed CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
With Wawa's rewards program, you can rack up points on the items you buy every day, even fuel. Boost your totals with a breakfast sizzly. Score points with your morning coffee. With Wawa rewards, points put the power in your hands. You can choose to redeem them for what you love most, like an iced latte for an extra pick-me-up or your lunchtime hoagie. Download the Wawa app today. When you gotta get rewarded, you gotta Wawa. Fuel rewards not available in New Jersey or were legally prohibited. See full details at wawarewards.com. Price of participation may vary by store.
Heat and cool with nearly geothermal efficiency in places you can't fit ductwork with Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits.
Just go to absolutecomfort.org. That's absolutecomfort.org.
The top-ranked Hoosiers face the Crimson Tide of Alabama in the Rose Bowl. New Year's Day at 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
You are more reptile than man, George. So low and flat that the foot of man is incapable of crushing you. How dare you?
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Third down for the Colts. The Colts are 2 for 3 so far on the money down. This is big. 3rd and 3 at the 3. 3rd and goal. Rivers out of the gun. Has the troops at the right hash. Taylor the back right. They give it to Taylor right at the middle. Moving left. Touchdown! Jonathan Taylor with his 18th rushing touchdown of the season. The confetti flies at Lucas Oil Stadium, and the Colts have scored points on their first 2 drives of the game, and they are out early over Jacksonville 9-0.
That is Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts right there. Colts lose to Jacksonville yesterday. Regular season finale with no postseason. Colts in Houston, 10 a.m. That is the Colts pregame huddle for a final time this season. Right here, Sunday morning, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Hey, by the way, to win Shoeless Spreadability, you're going to have that for your elite level snacking for New Year's Eve. Who is going to have it on their New Year's Eve party table? Who will not and will fail as a party host miserably? Don't let that be you. Neiman's Harvest Market, Carmel. Gordon's Food Service, where you can also get that big 5-gallon thing of cottage cheese that I love there, James. Of course, I'm still on the cottage cheese bandwagon. Hey, I got another good cottage cheese, by the way, recently. Good Culture. Good Culture cottage cheese.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
That's nice. Nice and thick. It's kind of like wallpaper paste. Like, I don't like my cottage cheese soupy. I don't like it watery. I like it thick.
I have to say, that's probably what my big aversion to cottage cheese is all of the liquid.
If it was almost like if I were going back to first grade and I was like squirting lumpy Elmer's glue in my mouth or something. That's like Good Culture, but tastes better. True story. Hey, by the way, Ralston's Draft House, or is it Ralston's Brew House on Friday? Bud Light Blue Friday. That is on the road at Ralston's. This is going to be a first-timer. I like cracking the seal on a new place. Ralston's Brew House or Draft House? It's off of Mass Ave.
That is the Draft House.
The Draft House, known as Ralston's. Who's with me? I got all excited when Jeff Rickard sent us a text and said, you know, it kind of sounds like, on the stream, it sounds like you're on remote. And my retort to Jeff was, well, if it sounds like on a remote, I'm going to start drinking then. I mean, good drinking Monday.
Don't you have a stash somewhere? I know you did at the old place. You had a stash of stuff.
I don't have a place right now. I take it out to the car and back in here. There's a locker over there that I do keep my crap in, but yeah, I do have some stuff. I just didn't bring it today. I don't think him or Nigel are even here, are they?
I haven't seen them, yeah.
My stash. Holder on the other side, but no, Ralston's Draft House coming up on Friday. I hope to see you all there. Let's drink some beers. Hey, by the way, shout out to Iozzo's. I went to Iozzo's in Franklin for the first time. Good time on Saturday. Not been down to that location before. Shout out to the halibut and Steve. Steve served the halibut. Good place, though. Franklin is nice. Franklin's downtown is choice. I got to do a show in Franklin one of these days, too. Hey, quick break. We'll come back. Stephen Holder on the other side. Don't go anywhere. More on the Colts. Not only that regular season finale, but the upcoming offseason as well. IU heading out west to Pasadena. That coming up too. Pacers in Houston later on tonight. Don't go anywhere. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
If it's happening with the Indianapolis Colts,
they give it to Taylor.
Then it's happening on the Fan.
Jacksonville has the lead for the first time. The first touchdown of the season for Mo Alley Cox, and he made it with one hand. Colts back on top into the end zone, and it is intercepted by Jacksonville. Antonio Johnson ends the game, and the Colts losing skid now 6 games.
Sports Radio 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The official home of the Indy Sports Fan.
I don't know if this is going to be a New Year's resolution, but let's just say you've recently looked in a mirror and you've felt that your dome has been compromised. And all of a sudden, there's a little bit more skin there in the game than there is coverage, lettuce, hair. You don't want that male pattern baldness to set in. You don't want the classic horseshoe design like Costanza saw, and you certainly don't want the solution for a couple of episodes. Costanza had a little glue and a wig on top. No, I'm talking about your real growing hair, and that's what Darren Andrews can do for you right now with WeGrowHairIndy.com. Make that call, 317-522-2995. There is nothing fake about it whatsoever. If you want your real growing hair back, you can get it. And as a 9-year member, I can tell you, and all you have to do is look, it absolutely works. No more male pattern baldness, but just your real growing hair. 317-522-2995. Talk to Darren Andrews about that in 2026, or do that today with WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler's workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come check us out at your nearby store. Our engagement rings are made with love from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
JMV here for my friends at Premier Weight Loss. You know what's funny? When I was in my teens, body exploration meant something completely different than it does now that I'm 56 years of age. I can say now that it means, where am I on my weight loss journey? Down nearly 80 pounds. How about my body fat percentage? Down from 35% to 13%. Now it's time to add muscle mass, or lean mass, if you will, with the tone stimulation machine that they have at Premier Weight Loss. You can do the same weight loss journey and then tone up with Thomas and Samantha and the gang at Premier Weight Loss. It will work for you. That's PWLND.com. Mention my name. For the first 10 days in the month of December, you could win 2 lower-level tickets to see the Niners and the Colts. If you want to lose the weight, if you want to feel better, it's PWLND.com. You can do it. Tell them JMV sent you. PWLND.com today.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And right now, save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic, plus a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Jake Query here. Each weekday noon to 3, guests appear live on the Java House Peel and Pour guest line. Use code JAKE25 at javahouse.com to save 25% on your first order.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
WIBC HD2, HD3, Indianapolis.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Attention, whoever you are, this channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Receiver motion to the right. That's Parker Washington. Back in the throw is Lawrence. In the pocket, dancing, fires into the end zone, and it is
intercepted.
It's picked off by Jermaine Pratt.
in the back right corner of the end zone. An interception thrown by Trevor Lawrence. Jermaine Pratt nabs it and prevents the Jaguars from scoring points at the end of the first half.
Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts right there on the call. The Colts lose to the Jaguars yesterday. One final regular season game, of course, that is coming up on Sunday, 10 a.m. We get you started with the Colts pregame huddle. Colts and the Houston Texans. By the way, Pacers-Rockets later on tonight from Houston. Tip time, 8 o'clock. 7:30 coverage begins here on The Fan. Prior to that, Colts Roundtables got you covered. That and more coming up a little bit later on, but on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline from ESPN and ESPN.com. Stephen Holder joins us. I'll start right here. So the 3-game Phillip Rivers experience, when it's said and done, was it worth it?
I don't have a problem with it. I think they did what they felt was their best, or took what they felt was their best option under the circumstances. Yeah, I mean, I've gone round and round with this. I mean, the alternative was Riley Leonard or whatever else was out there on the market, which is absolutely awful, okay? And the calculation was that Riley Leonard was not up to the task of keeping them in playoff contention. Now, I get it. Hindsight is 20/20, and Rivers didn't get it done either. But it would be wrong to say he didn't give them a chance. He did. He did, I thought, as best or better than anyone expected, and I think it was a justifiable move, even though it did not work.
So I was curious about this. Was there any way in the world they would have played Riley Leonard if they just didn't learn that they were done on Saturday night yesterday? Not that this matters, but was that legitimately because he was there giving Rivers the start, or was that more because Fairhope, Alabama was up here yesterday?
Well, I'll say this for Shane Steichen. He told us very early in the week, Phillip Rivers is starting under any circumstance, because whether you buy this or not, I think it's legitimate somewhat. The fate of their postseason situation wasn't going to be decided until Saturday night, right, with the Texans game. So their preparation by that time is done, and the preparation went to Rivers because during the week when they were practicing, they were still alive. And so they proceeded under that assumption. And he actually said, Shane said, it would be unfair to Riley to then pull the plug and have him go start when he didn't take the reps and didn't have the preparation. I actually don't disagree with that. I do think that's fair. It's like coming off the bench and trying to go replace the starter in game. I mean, that's a really tough situation. It would have been akin to that. So I think it's a plausible explanation. And look, there is the reality that Phillip Rivers did, sort of get off the couch and come do them a favor. That is true. And I think there was sort of this understanding that he wants to play. He's here. Let him play, even beyond what I just outlined. Yes.
It's Stephen Holder of ESPN and ESPN.com is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So was it smart and worth it to put Sauce Gardner back out there yesterday?
I don't think he did any sort of like long-term damage. So, I mean, was it smart? No, but also not a fireable offense or anything. Maybe that's the wrong choice of words right now.
Yeah, well, there've been plenty of offenses up until this point. So yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah.
But you follow where
sure.
I'm going with that.
Yeah.
I do think you have to think about it this way, though. I think Sauce has wanted to get out there. I think there's the reality of the pressure surrounding the trade as well. All of that probably played a role. Now, if he hasn't hurt himself in any sort of major way, I think no harm, no foul. But look, under the circumstances, could they have made a different decision? Yeah, they perhaps could have.
Stephen Holder, who joins us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Are you cloudy with DeForest Buckner and his future, or do you believe he's going to come back and be good to go next year? Because we've gone through neck situations like this before, and especially, really, they're not good in general, but not good at that position at that age.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a legitimate expectation that the surgery is going to be successful, et cetera. But I also don't think you can just rubber stamp success in terms of the guy being the same player at 32 years old next year coming off of a neck surgery. Like that's a realistic position to take, right? It's okay to be optimistic and say, they're giving good projections on recovery, all of that, right? That's fine. And I'm not a doctor, so we defer to the doctors. But to also just assume that it's going to go according to plan, like that's probably a little too hopeful, right? They need to kind of see how this goes. And all I can tell you is that DeForest Buckner's a tough guy, but he went from never missing any time in the lineup until about like 2 years ago to the last couple of years. He has had numerous injuries that he's had to either play through or miss time for. He's been on injury reserve both of the last 2 seasons now. So this is what happens when you start to get older. Recovery gets harder. If he was 25, I might feel differently about this, but he is going to be 32 next year. And I do think there are some realities around that we have to acknowledge. So we'll hope for the best, and you plan for some complications, though, I would say.
He is Stephen Holder of ESPN and ESPN.com on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. If you were a betting person, would you bet that both he and Ward are back next year? One or the other, or neither? You got a lean here with both these guys?
I think Ward is going to make a go of it. That's what I think right now. And, Buckner, that one is just completely dependent on the neck. If he can play and can safely play, and it's prudent for him to play, because those are the things he was talking about, like in the last couple of weeks. I thought I heard him talk in very different terms, which was like, I got a family, I got to be smart, I got to make, wise decisions. He was talking about it in those terms, which I've not heard him talk like that before, right? So I think if there's some questions there, I don't know that he's going to put himself at risk. But if he is truly cleared and feels good, I do expect DeForest Buckner to be back. He was not thinking about retirement and has not thought about retirement as far as I'm aware. And I've not gotten that vibe from him, despite having regular conversations with him. So I think he's planning to come back, and we'll do that if able.
Okay, on the field of play yesterday, guys that you think, and maybe you don't know yet, and we're guessing, but I'm curious your thoughts on those you think we saw for the last time at Lucas Oil Stadium in a Colts uniform.
Well, I mean, the tough question is, the first question is like, who's in charge, right?
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in just a second. So, yeah.
Well, no. I'm saying because that affects who's back, right? I mean, but I would say I will tell you this. This is not going to be a popular answer, but as we sit here today, there's not a lot of momentum for them doing a deal with Alec Pierce. So that's an interesting one to watch. And I'm not saying that can't change. Chris Ballard, if he is in charge, he's not necessarily one to jump up and make his best offer well in advance. That's not his style. But that best offer, well, let me rephrase that. The offer that's going to compete with what's likely to come, it does not appear that offer has been tendered yet. So I don't know how that's going to go. It's very early, okay? I am not making a projection. I'm not leaning one way or the other. I'm just telling you as we sit here today, there's not been a lot of momentum to getting him back.
Would that be more because of the finances moving forward in the situation, or his market value, which we're all thinking is going to climb past a threshold in which, and who knows again who's making this particular decision, but will his market value climb past a threshold in which would price out the Colts?
I think it's that. It's his price has gone up. It has gone up and is going up. And I think he understands, and his representation will understand, what the market is out there for guys like him. He's going to be a $20 million guy potentially. I don't know. I don't know what that number is. I have no idea. But he has a very unique skill set. And all it takes is one team to overpay. And what does overpay even mean, right? The bottom line is you just need one team to say, that's the guy we need. And I think his skill set for a contending sort of team, it would be extremely attractive, because you pair him with one of these elite quarterbacks, and they ain't no telling what this guy could be, right? So I would argue right now, Alec Pierce has functionally, okay, we can define this however you want, but functionally, for most of this season, I feel like he's been their number one receiver, or at times this season. Let's put it that way, because I think he has the best skill set of all of them. I think that has been true. If you're watching, he can do everything, and he's the only guy they have that can do that.
I would recognize this, that obviously the money is going to matter the most, more than likely. But if you're talking about where you would be most comfortable, or where you're most taken advantage of in terms of your skill set, I think you can easily argue there is so much of a vivid question surrounding the quarterback position. I think we know who's going to be here, but when he's going to be back and how he's going to look once he gets back and what you're going to be dealing with, his best spot probably is someplace else for him, and for him to raise the bar on his overall game. Is that accurate?
No, I mean, if he's thinking with his head and not his heart, then that's probably true. The reason I bring up his head versus his heart is because I do know that Alec Pierce loves it here. He really does. And him and Daniel Jones actually are pretty tight. Both, big golf guys, so that's kind of been their connection. And they just really hit it off. I think you saw that really on the field, but it's also off the field as well. So Pierce really is a Daniel Jones guy, and it's going to be I think it'll be a complicated decision for him because of that, and just because he likes Indy as well, right? So I don't know how this is going to go, but that is a variable that I think we have to take into account. But I don't disagree with you. I do think if you're just looking at it just cold-blooded, black and white, he's probably going to have the potential for more success somewhere else, or at least a more sure thing, right? That's the question, right? When is Daniel Jones back? How is Daniel Jones physically when he is back, right? All of those things impact how you can perform as a wide receiver. So fair question.
How would Chris Ballard express his position of optimism to Carly Ursay-Gordon in a year-ender to continue the general manager of this team? I mean, is it easier said than I would believe that it is, that it's a foregone conclusion that it's time to, as it's long-standing been to me, wipe the slate clean? Or does he have a stronger position than what a lot of people like me understand?
Well, I'd say this. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion from Carly's perspective. But that's me taking a leap a little bit. Okay. I admit, right. All I'm saying is I don't get that vibe from being in the building every day. I don't think it's a slam dunk, but I also admit we're in uncharted territory. Okay. This is a whole new ball game. This is not Jim Irsay. This is a whole different situation. So anyway, to your question, I think the argument, if you want to make the argument, if you're Chris Ballard, the argument has to be, we finally figured out a path this year. We just didn't get to see it through because things happened, right? But I think if you look at last year, or last off season, this is not me arguing for Chris Ballard. I'm just stating a fact, right? All the things that we have talked about on this show for many, many years, why doesn't Chris Ballard do X? He actually did them. That's the funny thing, right? He went out and he spent money on defense, especially in the secondary, which he was so pig-headed about and so stubborn, would never do it. He went out and he spent money in the secondary. He trusted his front seven, and that might have been a failure on his part, okay, because they haven't been able to get it done. But that's fine. We'll come back to that. I would say offensive line, they're pretty stable there. They've done a good job on the offensive line. They found some viability at quarterback for the first time, like ever, under Chris Ballard, except with Andrew Luck, right? So all the things that had eluded him and made him someone who people wanted to fire, he actually addressed them this year, and then a lot of those guys got hurt and were not on the field, and now here we are 6 losses later. But I think the argument, if he wants to make an argument to ownership, if he needs to make an argument, the argument would be, we were on the right track. Let us finish the job. Now, whether you buy that, whether Carly Ursay-Gordon buys that, I don't know, man. I have no idea, but I think that would be the argument.
See, and I have suggested, and you know what I believe, and everybody out there knows what I believe with everybody. There's nothing personal here, but I was ready to do that in January, and then I looked like a horse's ass in September and October, and now I look like a genius, because if you'd have done that in January, then probably everybody feels better about it, and you still have 2 first-rounders and all that. However, I look back at that moment during the NFL trade deadline as, if you really want to point to what you just magnified in defining how, if he and they return, I think that is the reason why. I think, and again, people are going to go, well, wait a minute, you can get past that. But in those moments when you're saying, I believe in this, we're all in, and this is where we're going, come hell or high water, win or loss, you could have made that decision right then and right there and said, all right, we're going with you guys for the foreseeable future. And then you would end up excusing or making an excuse out of the injuries that nobody around here is going to buy, because it's been results over the year. Your resume is your resume. And to me, it's time to go. But with Carly Ursay-Gordon, that could look and probably will look drastically different.
Maybe. I don't know. I would say a couple things. Number one, you talked about, like, you know, you wish you would have made the decision to get rid of him in January. And now, and listen, they thought about it, certainly, right? I mean, Jim Irsay told us he thought about it. He was honest about that. So we know it was on the table. The funny thing is that even had they done that at the time, I think we'd still be here. And when I say still be here, meaning if all of these injuries fell the way they fell, I still think they're not in a good place. You know, do they manage to win another game or two? Maybe, I don't know, but they're still going to suck, right? With the injuries that they had, they would not be a good football team. So I think it can't be about this year, and you're not making it about this year. But I'm just making the point. Anyone whose argument is that, well, they collapsed, this team sucks, get these guys the hell out of here. Well, that's ridiculous, all right? I mean, I reject that completely. Like, this team, we talk about the 49ers, for example, right? The 49ers overcame, and I've heard this talking point a lot. Yeah, the 49ers lost one quarterback, and their backup was actually someone else's former starter, Mac Jones. The Colts had 2 quarterbacks down. You're not coming back from that. It's going to be hell, man. And so that's where they are. Now, what we're talking, there's two separate conversations, right? And so the question is, which one takes precedent for Carly Ursay-Gordon? And I mean, there's no way to know that, but is she looking at it from the standpoint of, we were on the right track, or is she looking at it from the standpoint of it doesn't matter because your track record suggests you shouldn't be here? I don't know. We're just talking out of our rear end at this point, right?
No, and I do that. I do that a lot around here.
But that's where we are, right? Those are two separate entities that you got to think about and talk about.
I just think, to me, there's more evidence of what he and they aren't than what September and October may have proven to anybody else. Does that make sense to you?
No, I think that's a totally fair argument.
And that's kind of where I am right now, because I, like everybody else, got caught up in those 2 months, and I didn't want to hear anything about the schedule and, how easy it was and the teams that were played. I didn't really want to hear about that. But now you look back on it and you can see how, they faded. I think that overall the resume is more of a dictation about what you should do here than, just the euphoria of September and October. And then now, given their circumstances of where they are, and then you look at Shane, for example, is 2-9 versus the Texans and the Jaguars, who have both been up and down like twice since the Colts have been back up. To me, it's just like, this is easy decision to be made, and I know it's not, and I know it's going to be something that they'll wrestle with coming up here after the end of the season next Sunday.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, if they fire Chris Ballard 5 minutes from now, I ain't gonna come on this show and be like, that's a mistake. No, man. Everybody gets it. You know what I mean? I'm not here to do that. I am saying I see why there will be a conversation. This is not the slam dunk that people think, and because it is more complicated, I think for the Irsay family than people perhaps appreciate. The other thing here, you just mentioned Shane, and that's not a great stat for Shane, right? The division opponents. This may be unpopular, but I'm going to separate Shane for a second. And I don't believe in firing one and keeping the other. I don't think that ever works. That's a bunch of garbage. Don't do that. That's never a good idea. That being said, I think Shane Steichen is actually a legit coach. I think he's legit. And I'll tell you why. Look, I think he has actually had a lot to overcome and has overcome a lot of it. I take that first year. His first year coaching job is probably his best. I don't think people appreciate just how little people think of Gardner Minshew around the NFL. And I'm just telling you, they were a first down away from the playoffs with Gardner Minshew. They had no business being there, man. They had no business, right? And they almost pulled that off. I just think we saw him for the first time with a viable quarterback, and he had a historically good offense while he had that guy. And I think that is what you can get from Shane Steichen with the right guy. But we just didn't get enough of it. So I don't know. It may not matter in the end, but I do think, I just want to say for Shane, I think, and people around the NFL agree, like Shane Steichen, particularly on offense, like he's the real deal. That's what I think.
I will say this in closing with you, Stephen. I would disagree. I think you can keep Shane and let Chris go, but I don't think it would work out that way.
Sure.
I don't think it would work out that way.
I just don't personally advocate for that. I think
I get where you're saying too. And the other part about it is, I just think that and I've said this a number of times, I think they've exhausted every avenue. We've now seen a little bit of everything, even positive results over a 2-month period. But again, the end is the same. And December, yet again, was another nightmare. And hoping that this was just circumstances beyond their control, there's more proof to that being them. And right now, Stephen, this organization's the Bengals. The Bengals fumbling around that we had known in the past. I mean, it's an organization of losing until they're able to prove that it's not past a 2-month window. So I don't know how else you get past that.
Well, get ready for more Bengals then, because I will tell you now, like if they make these changes, they're going to take several steps back before they.
No, there's no question.
Forward.
There's no and they may end up doing that anyway.
Not to do it, just to be clear.
Yeah,
but I'm just telling you, like the listeners out there, buddy, buckle your damn seatbelt. I'm telling you,
but
it's going to suck.
They may end up doing that anyway. I think that's fair to say, is it not? I mean, it's not like you got a magic elixir because you bring these guys back and, you expedite Daniel Jones, back in a big hurry. You know his history. Who knows if it's going to work out that way again? I thought that there was some evidence that maybe teams defensively were catching on to what they were doing, and you started to see, all good questions for the offseason, but I think that they're all logical and reasonable questions to be asking, certainly. So we shall see.
No, all fair. All
right.
I'll leave you with this.
Yes.
I will tell people now, like part of my reason for pumping the brakes on what I think is going to happen is people in that building are very adamant about the plan for next year. Get Daniel healthy. We're going to, revamp some things. And we think we can pick up where we left off, et cetera, right? I don't know if that is how it'll go, but
planning, right? With that particular angle, sounds like everybody's coming back right there.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So
yeah.
Listen,
I know.
Do you not think, and not you, but just generally speaking, do you not think the people who are espousing those views to me and my colleagues, do you not think they've had that conversation with Carly Ursay?
100%.
You better believe they have.
No, that's why when I say the same thing about the whole NFL trade deadline, about that being a reasonable take, that you're not going to see the changes that you believe are necessary right here. So, I mean, right. you got. But again, I have my opinion, and then I have what I think is going to happen, because we've seen this happen way too many times in the past to think all of a sudden, there's going to be this drastic change, or this type of change. It wouldn't be drastic to me now, but this type of change in general. I appreciate you as always, man. Thank you for hopping on here.
You got it anytime.
Enjoy that trek down to Houston for that finale. It's Stephen. Yeah, I bet.
I can wait, believe me.
Stephen Holder of ESPN, ESPN.com, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We'll play off of that on the other side. Did I get us way behind here? Because I don't really care. Sorry, James. It's nothing against you, but yeah. The conversation, to me, is more worthwhile than giving two craps about what the clock says. Sorry, nerds out there, but that's how I feel. Quick break. Back with you next.
Indiana Tech gave these grads more than just a degree. It gave them a future.
I earned a master's degree in organizational leadership and the opportunity to serve others.
I earned a degree that helped me get promoted at a great company and become the first college graduate in my family.
I earned an engineering degree that taught me to succeed in technical roles and in life.
I got the chance to work for a professional sports team with a winning experience thanks to flexible online classes.
With personalized support to help you succeed. Over 100 high-quality career-focused certificates and degrees in in-demand fields like business, healthcare, criminal justice, information technology, cybersecurity, and more. Indiana Tech doesn't just give you a degree. It gives you the opportunity of a lifetime. Learn more about what Indiana Tech can do for your future at online.indianatech.edu.
Registration for the next class session ends January 9th.
Even a short drive can take a wrong turn. Accidents happen. When it happens, hire Hensley. Call Hensley Legal Group at 888-HENSLEY or visit hirehensley.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Let's make sure you are snacking at the highest of levels on New Year's Eve. Yeah, you're having a party, right? Don't be that party host that forgets about the Win Schuler's original sharp cheddar bacon and cheddar and jalapeno pepper. That is going to be the life of the party, whether you're dipping in crackers or chips or maybe even vegetables. Maybe you're grilling some cheeseburgers. Put it on that. Yes, Win Schuler's takes it to the next level, to the ultimate level of snacking right there. Win Schuler's spreadability just in time for New Year's Eve and your parties. You'll find Win Schuler's at Neiman's Harvest Market in Carmel, Gordon's Food Service, and Meyer locations across the state of Indiana. That's Win Schuler's.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
Hey, JMV here for WeGrowHairIndy.com. My friend Darren Andrews awaits your call at 317-522-2995 or WeGrowHairIndy.com today. So I have been a We Grow Hair Indy member for the better part of 9 years, and so glad I did because I had that classic Costanza horseshoe design set again, and frankly, I wanted my real hair back and knew that it was leaving, vacating the premises. But Darren Andrews said, hey, we can help you out here with either multi-unit hair grafting or artist robotic FUE. Whatever you need, we shall do to get your real growing hair back again. That's exactly what happened. And all I did was make that call to Darren Andrews at 317-522-2995, WeGrowHairIndy.com. Don't wait. Do it now. That's 317-522-2995. Be just like me, JMV, and get your free evaluation and get your hair back today. WeGrowHairIndy.com.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. Maybe you've been feeling drafts through your old windows, or they stick when you try to open them, or they outright leak in bad weather. You need the experienced pros at Window Nation. They've installed over 3 million windows and have high-quality options to fit any budget. You could pay a lot less than the other big guys and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom-made windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit in your home, and they back it up with the best warranty in the industry. So shut out the drafts, make opening and closing a breeze, and lock out the leaks for good. Get a great deal on replacement windows from Window Nation today. Go to GetWindowNation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years. Go to GetWindowNation.com or call 866-90Nation.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen
Lose weight
report.
or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed or your money back. Only $59.99. Destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, or weight gain, or your money back. Hypnosis January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss of 5:30 p.m., stop smoking at 8. And January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking at 2. Register at MarkPatrickSeminars.com.
If it's happening with the Indianapolis Colts,
they give it to Taylor.
Then it's happening on the Fan.
Jacksonville has the lead for the first time. The first touchdown of the season for Mo Alley Cox, and he made it with one hand. Colts back on top into the end zone, and it is intercepted by Jacksonville. Antonio Johnson ends the game, and the Colts losing skid now 6 games.
Sports Radio 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
The official home of the Indy Sports Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Excuse me, Robo. Any special message for all the kids watching at home?
Stay out of trouble.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Thank you all for joining us today on this Monday. Just a couple of days of the show, and then with me and the JMV Takeover on B105.7 coming up on Wednesday as we usher in the new year of 2026. Back on Friday on the road at Ralston's Draft House off of Mass Ave on a Bud Light Blue Friday. So cannot wait to see you there. We're still going to party. Yeah, even if we're talking about getting rid of people and what needs to be done, and, you know, we may have some mixed feelings on it with others out there, we're still going to have a hell of a time. Wednesday, JMV Takeover is back for Season 6, New Year's Eve style, and I'm going to completely blank that up as I'm trying to train with new software which makes me sound like a huge nerd. Hey, I think I'm going to train on this new software. Can you help me? Look like those two dudes in 16 Candles, Cusack, and what's the other guy's name? Darren Harris, Bryce and Cliff. Oh, you know what? Black and white would look so great. Oh. Cliff and Bryce. Fix your hair, Bryce. College hoop later on tonight. Number 5, Purdue at home at 7 o'clock versus Kent State. Boilers winners of 3 straight. My Sycamores, wouldn't it be nice if you got to win? Belmont, however, 4 straight, 5-0, most recently on the road. 12-1 overall, Belmont. 2-0 in the Mo. The Sycamores 7-6 and 0-2 their start in the Valley. 7 o'clock at just one of the great facilities of all time, the Holman Center. Shout out to the Terminal and the Copper Bar and Bally's. Sycamores, Belmont tonight. IU, Indy, Cleveland State, 7 o'clock. Earlham, Ball State tonight at 7 o'clock. Muncie, Evansville, and Bradley in the Mo Valley tonight. That's in Peoria. Purdue, Fort Wayne, and Milwaukee. And Valpo and Northern Iowa, all a part of tonight's schedule. Also, as I mentioned, too, Pacers later on tonight. Pacers and Houston. Tip time, 8 o'clock, 7:30 coverage begins right here on the Fan. And I think everybody back in. McConnell's in tonight. Huff is in tonight. Matherin in tonight. Shepard is out tonight. Tip time, 8 o'clock. Colts Roundtable, top of the hour. Consider yourself updated. 239-1070 is that number. Steve's been on hold for a moment. Hello, Steve. How are you?
Doing well. How you doing?
Fantastic, Steve. Thank you for asking. That's very kind of you. What do you got?
Great show.
Thank you, man. It's the first time I've ever heard that. I appreciate it.
Oh, great show.
Normally people say it sucks.
No.
Go ahead, man.
Man, the only clothes I wear are the ones you give me when I go to your shows. They're great stuff. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just was going to say.
Unless you want to say more really nice things about me, we can stay there too. That's whatever you want to do.
I was going to say, you're talking about your eyes, man.
Yes.
I have to go to cataract surgery tomorrow.
Are you really? Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. I mean, my eyes just went bad for 2 weeks. It's been unbelievable.
Well, my problem is I think that I guess it's with age, and I need to get an optometrist, and I need to have something go because it's messing up my jump shot, Steve. That's the problem here. My sights are off. My sights are bent, so I've got to get my sights back in shape.
You probably should not shoot left-handed, then shoot right-handed.
Well, no, listen, normally it's either one. It's whatever is worthy of the moment right here, but my sights are bent. I got to fix that. So I've got to find an optometrist somebody out there that can fix it without me putting on readers that I buy at CVS. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
And then I read my phone at night in bed through a magnifying glass. I look like I'm Sherlock Holmes in bed. I don't want that anymore either. What else you got, Steve?
Oh, everything is fine. I was going to talk about sports, but when I heard you talk about your eyes, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, the best of luck to you on your cataract surgery, Steve, tomorrow.
I was going to say to you.
Yes.
Gajima down there, has she ever had that cataract surgery done?
No, she hasn't. She's got great eyesight. Great eyesight, and they called me at 6:30 this morning and talked to me for 45 minutes, my usual. And then, this is the best. She bought my son Blake for Christmas. I love this. He said, yeah, I wouldn't mind to have a recliner. So she goes out and buys a recliner. I had to go down and pick it up on Saturday. So, yeah, she got a recliner. Which is pretty awesome. But thanks for asking about her. All was good. High winds in Owensburg. Tornado in Linton in Greene County last night. But all is good in Owensburg, Indiana. Steve, thank you for asking.
I used to work down there at French Lick.
Yes, you did. Love me some French Lick. Steve, thank you for the call. You call anytime, sir. Thanks for the kind words. Sometimes I need that. kind words. James, have you seen, what is the DiCaprio, Del Toro, Sean Penn movie, Another Battle for Every Day, or what the hell is that?
I know what you're talking about. I have not
I
seen
watched that last night. It's one of those films that was incredibly entertaining, but unfortunately I'm going to have to watch it like 19 times because I have no idea what the hell's going on.
I've heard it got really good reviews. I've been meaning to check it out.
It was really entertaining. I go, man, this is really good, but I have no damn idea what's happening. Nothing. Another battle every day. No, see, Fitz, that's exactly how I look at my phone in bed. Like a magnifying glass. Yeah, and go ahead and make a lot of jokes. Well, that's how you go to the bathroom too, JMV. No. TJ's next at 239-1070. Hello, TJ.
Hey, JMV, how are you?
People making fun of me about a magnifying glass and going to the bathroom. Those aren't kind words at all, are they, buddy? Come on, man.
No.
Come on, man.
Hey, at least it's not a microscope, you know? That's all we can ask for.
What do you got, buddy?
So, what if Riley Leonard goes out there, does really well? Are we going to ask ourselves what if? Are we going to blame the coach? Are we going to blame Ballard? I mean,
well, I think
hypothetically, you know.
Yeah, I think if you run in the parking lot and your car doesn't start right now, you're going to blame the Colts and Ballard and Stiken right now. So I don't think that really matters. So yeah, anything like if Riley Leonard goes out there, for example, if that's the guy, I'm assuming coming up on Sunday, the finale, and plays well, yes, that will be even more of the blame, and then you're not going to get any credit for it. And if he stinks it up, and even worse than what Rivers has looked, you're not going to get any credit for that. That's just where this organization is right now.
Yeah.
TJ, anything else?
It. Nope. Yeah, I hope you had a good Christmas and Happy New Year.
You too, buddy. Thank you very much. I did have a really nice Christmas. Terre Haute Longhorn Steakhouse. What is it called? Another battle? Another day? This is good. Sean Penn was nuts in that thing, man. Shout out to Sean Penn.
It's one battle after another.
One battle after another. Colonel Stephen Lockjaw. Which I will say this. So Paul Thomas Anderson, that was the writer and director of Boogie Nights, most notably, was behind this film. Did you know, James, going to a break, who the famous father of Paul Thomas Anderson might be? This is well past your era, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
I have no idea.
His, I believe his dad's name was it Edward Anderson? He was the voice of ABC.
Ernie Anderson.
Ernie Anderson. Good Lord. Maybe I need a new brain, too. Ernie Anderson, the voice of ABC. Coming up tonight on The Love Boat. See if you can find an Ernie Anderson ABC promo to play us back so people can understand what I'm talking about without me being all over the map and not getting things right. Coming up tonight on That's Incredible and The Love Boat. He always said The Love Boat. Ernie Anderson, that's Paul Thomas Anderson's father, late father. Play that on the way back in. Quick break, we'll come back. Your calls and more. I promise someday soon I'll get something right. Thank you for hanging on this Monday. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome to Wawa. We're open 24/7, so when the sun goes down but everyone's still up, Wawa has your late night fuel. Headed to a hangout? Stop in for snacks and sodas. Binge your favorite shows with burgers and hoagies. Gather around the table with garlic knots and a cheesy Wawa pizza. Or just chill on the couch with fries and whatever milkshake sounds good. Your night just got a whole lot tastier. Freshly made burgers, pizza, and so much more. When you got a late night craving, you got a Wawa. Price and participation may vary by store.
The following is a district-wide service announcement from the District Tap.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. Wait, hey, can we say that? Damn good food?
Yes, I'm told that damn good food is totally acceptable. Go ahead and pick it up from there.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. And don't get me started on all the sports at the tap. Over 60 big f***ing screens with as much NFL and collegiate football action as you can handle. Weeknight matchups? Yeah, we have weeknight games. Looking for a spot downtown to catch that game? Get your f***ing ass over to our new downtown location at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Game on at the District Tap. How's that?
Fantastic.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and downtown at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Online at thedistricttap.com.
John here for BullseyeEventGroup.com. The Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Let me tell you, Kyle Kinnett has done it again. What a great party yesterday. I saw so many of you at the BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate. Skids and Laura Steele, Kelsey Murphy. She is so awesome, too. It was great. Absolutely great. I'm so glad you guys had the opportunity to go. I will tell you this. This is all dependent upon IU winning. If IU wins the Rose Bowl, beats Bama, they advance to Atlanta. I believe Kyle is going to put together a party for you down in Atlanta. Plus, I will tell you more about the story of the Super Bowl parties because they are legendary that Bullseye puts on and the Super Bowl locations. And this year, it is Santa Clara, California. If you want to go on just a destination visit, a game, Super Bowl fun, maybe just soaking up the party atmosphere of that. If you're just looking for tickets to something extra special, always BullseyeEventGroup.com. Check out what they have to offer. Do that right now. Log on, BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Hi, I'm Dallas, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You know she loves her Shane Company engagement ring, but you also want to surprise her for her birthday, anniversary, or just because she deserves it. Why not get her a bigger diamond with our Easy Trade-Up program? We'll give you the full credit of your original natural diamond purchase toward a new one. Her new diamond only has to be $1 more. You only pay the difference. How's that for an easy trade-up? Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
JMV here for my friends at Premier Weight Loss. You know what's funny? When I was in my teens, body exploration meant something completely different than it does now that I'm 56 years of age. I can say now that it means, where am I on my weight loss journey? Down nearly 80 pounds. How about my body fat percentage? Down from 35% to 13%. Now it's time to add muscle mass, or lean mass, if you will, with the Tone Stimulation Machine that they have at Premier Weight Loss. You can do the same. Weight loss journey and then tone up with Thomas and Samantha and the gang at Premier Weight Loss. It will work for you. That's PWLND.com. Mention my name. For the first 10 days in the month of December, you could win 2 lower-level tickets to see the Niners and the Colts. If you want to lose the weight, if you want to feel better, it's PWLND.com. You can do it. Tell them JMV sent you. PWLND.com today.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
With Wawa's Rewards program, you can rack up points on the items you buy every day, even fuel. Boost your totals with a breakfast sizzling. Score points with your morning coffee. coffee. With Wawa Rewards, points put the power in your hands. You can choose to redeem them for what you love most, like an iced latte for an extra pick-me-up or your lunchtime hoagie. Download the Wawa app today. When you gotta get rewarded, you gotta Wawa. Fuel rewards not available in New Jersey or were legally prohibited. See full details at wawarewards.com. Price and participation may vary by store.
Jake Query here. Each weekday noon to 3, guests appear live on the Java House Peel and Pour guest line. Use code JAKE25 at javahouse.com to save 25% on your first order.
Heat and cool places where ductwork won't fit using Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits. You can even wrap them to match your decor.
Find out more at absolutecomfort.org.
The Ohio State Buckeyes take on the Miami Hurricanes in the Cotton Bowl. Wednesday night at 7 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Thursday, Mork's homesick for Ork.
That was wildly creative, Mindy, but that hardly lightens the load.
Mork and Mindy. And Tillman's a jailbird who'll try anything to escape.
Try anything, Marshall, I wouldn't think of it.
Best of the West. Then Louis brings his business talents to Wall Street.
You need to get dirty.
It's a special 1-hour taxi. Then, find out about America's fascination with chocolates. And hear the world's most famous choir on 2020.
Thursday on ABC.
Oh, I love it. Ernie Anderson, the legendary Ernie Anderson. That is Paul Thomas Anderson, the writer-director's father, late father. Coming up tonight on ABC. Yes, great stuff. Shout out to ABC for that. And James, that's a fantastic find. Hey, a couple of things, too. Leading IU receiver Omar Cooper Jr., friend of the show, by the way, full speed in Sunday's practice, according to Jeff Rabjohns. Good to go for the upcoming Rose Bowl. That is good to hear right there as the Hoosier faithful embarking upon that visit to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Forecast-wise, looks incredibly wet coming up on Thursday, New Year's Day. Meantime, 239-1070. I mentioned the Pacers later on tonight. Tip time, 8 o'clock, 7:30 coverage begins right here on The Fan. Pacers on New Year's Eve afternoon, 3 o'clock against the Orlando Magic. James, quickly, 5 songs with Magic. 5 songs with Magic. Nope, I got it. The Cars, Magic. Olivia Newton-John, Magic. Magic Man, Heart. Magic Carpet Ride, Steppenwolf. And... Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic to Police. Hallelujah.
The only one I could think of is Do You Believe in Magic? But I can't remember who that's by.
I've got to end on a high note. I give you Magic by Pilot, too, I believe. I'm going to leave on a high note. Magic in town here coming up on New Year's Eve afternoon at 3 o'clock. San Antonio and Victor Wembanyama Friday. Here in town as well. James, great job out of you. Hey, if I didn't get to you, call back tomorrow because I'm assuming we're going to have a lot of the same conversations we had today. Stephen Holder, podcast 1075thefan.com. Coming up next, Colts Roundtable. That's Matt and Joe and Rick for the next hour. They got you covered. After that, Pat Boylan got you for Pacer pregame. 7:30 for that. Pacers and Houston tip time tonight. At 8 o'clock, you guys have been simply outstanding. And thank you for listening to The Ride with JMV. It's 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Have a great night.
I'm Mark Boyle, voice of the Indiana Pacers. For your best shot at better water, go local with C&J Water. They're Hoosiers serving Hoosiers, bringing cleaner, safer, better-tasting water to homes across central Indiana. When you purchase a new water softener in November or December, C&J Water donates to the Pacers Foundation, helping those in need here at home. Better water for your family, helping those in need at home and abroad. For your best shot at better water, trust the local pros.